Hello, you're listening to Reviewing History, your comedy history podcast. I'm filmmaker and teacher Brian Rupert, joined here by...
As always. No, Steve D'Americo.
And...
I'm Anthony Galati. Hi.
And we have a special guest here today.
Mr. Blutarski.
0.0.
Yeah. We have Chris Sorrentino here.
Hey.
Hello.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Welcome.
So before we dive into the movie, you're a production designer on Impractical Jokers?
Yeah, well, no, production artist.
Yeah, okay.
nice.
So like if they need a sketch of something, you'll do like the art for that kind of?
Yeah, so I'll do illustrations for the art department. They'll come up with...
If it's like a fake game or something?
Yeah, or fake product or like murals. They have these mural things, shit like that. And yeah, they tap me to come in and do the artwork, do a bunch of different passes until something gets accepted. Wow. And yeah, it's fun, man. It's a I get to draw some really weird stuff.
How does someone get that gig? That seems like a good gig to have.
I have known Sal Volcano from
Mm-hmm.
Practical Jokers for a long time, just through comedy in Staten Island, and he would work at Cargo. He was a bartender at Cargo.
Oh, yes, Cargo.
Yeah,
that was a good time.
And then he later opened a place called Full Cup with a couple other guys on
Formerly
Van
the
Dusen.
Muddy
Formerly
Cup.
the Muddy Cup. Yes.
Well,
Interesting story. The guys who originally owned the Muddy Cup, they couldn't. They left and took the name. So anybody else who opened it after them or ran it after them couldn't use the Muddy Cup. So that's why it became like
The Full Cup.
Yeah, it was
Right.
just the cup,
Yes.
the Full Cup Phoenix
Yep.
Cup.
Right.
Gotta protect the name Muddy Cup.
Yeah.
Keep it on lock. But he yeah, so he was hiring me to do a bunch of art from there, and then from that
Oh, so you made the cup. That's on the awning.
No, I didn't do that cup. I didn't do that cup. They were doing this big redesign of the place before not Sal, but some other owners did a bunch of cocaine and wasted all the money. Then the place got fucking trashed.
Yeah.
So yeah, through that and another producer on the show at the time, Jay Miller, another comedy friend, they all kind of like inspired to get me in. They had something. It's funny because I can never share it. They asked me to draw this like really awful, like one of the most racist, horrible things you could ever imagine, and I drew it, and they were like,
"Send it to us."
Why is it here?
"Yeah."
That sounds wonderful.
We
were
won't
like-
show it. I want to see it.
I don't want to futz on my phone in the middle of the podcast. I'll show you guys after. And they were like, "Boom, you're hired." This is like season 5, I think, around 2015
He's
or 16.
racist enough. Good.
Yeah. Hey, it's Staten Island. All right.
That's the test.
Maron.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you a lifelong Staten Islander?
Lifelong Staten Islander, born and raised.
Which high school were you?
And I will die. High School of Art and Design in Manhattan, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Wow.
will travel to Manhattan up on 57th and 2nd.
A snob.
I have
Oh!
talent. He's like, I have talent. I didn't need to go to a
Yeah.
Staten Island high school. Like you fucking dummies in a public high school.
Fucking Bukiaks. Fuck.
So we,
What's Bukyak mean? Con.
She thinks so. Great scene.
so we met for the first time at a Fun Bearable show.
Yes.
Where Chuck and Brad were doing their thing.
That was a
And
fun
we
show.
got to talking and I liked you and you were cool and you were telling me how much you were into like Jim Belushi, not Jim, John Belushi.
Yeah.
son.
I like
He
Jim
loves
too.
according to Jim.
He's fucking obsessed. His DVR is full. Every
I
episode.
could not cram another one in.
Sorry, John Belushi.
Yeah.
And my wheels started spinning, and I was like, let me see if I can get him on our show to do this movie, because I had seen it years ago. And I was like, I think he'd be a good fit for it.
Yeah,
So,
I dig them. For the record, I like Jim. Him and I actually started talking, weirdly
Really?
enough, and I'm on an episode of his show, Growing Belushi, his pot growing farm show.
All right,
on
you got it. We don't know about this. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, all right. So he has a show where he has a pot farm. It's like on its 3rd season. It's on Discovery, and it's just about him in the pot farming business. Yeah.
He's Randy from South Park.
Yes. Yeah. He's got his integrity farms. Yeah.
Wow.
And he happened to throw me on an episode from like his people were filming me at this big concert at Joliet Prison, so in Illinois.
Okay.
And I didn't realize it. And then he actually messaged me on Instagram. He's like, "Hey, you're on the show tonight." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks, Jim Belushi." So, and that was actually the post I wrote. I was like, "According to Jim, I'll be on the show." So yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
But we
I'm a
watched A
weird
Futile and Stupid Gesture.
Yep.
Yeah.
A movie whose name I cannot remember for the fucking life.
It's
of
a
me.
very
He asked
complicated
like
name.
3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a quote from Animal House. That's
Yeah,
the only
right.
reason why. Otherwise, it just does not roll off the tongue,
Right.
and it's not a memorable title.
And then I watched the companion documentary, which is also a quote from Animal House that is just as complicated. It's like drunk.
Fat, Drunk, and Stupid.
No, it's not Fat, Drunk, and Stupid. I would have remembered that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But no,
They take it
it's
and
like
they
drunk
change it.
something dead. Yeah.
Brilliant, drunk,
Brilliant,
stone,
drunk, stone, dead. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The Rise and Fall of National Lampoon. It's
Right.
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. I did read the book about the making of Caddyshack, and it got big into
Kenny.
Doug Kenney's life
Okay.
and everything like that. I read that a
Right.
while back.
Oh, good.
Pretty interesting guy, it
Mhm.
seems.
So when I first watched this, I really wasn't aware of him as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had seen Animal House. I know of Caddyshack. I had never watched it. And I watched this and I'm watching the whole thing.
This is when it came out years ago.
Yeah, when it first came out, the first time I watched it.
Which is
And
when?
2015. No,
I think 18.
18 maybe? Whatever. Hold on, give me a second. 2018.
Okay.
So this comes out in 2018 and I watch it and I was like, the ending took me off guard. I was like, wow.
You didn't know.
I didn't know. So
Mhm.
that took me by
Oh,
surprise.
okay. Yeah.
I thought they were doing something meta because I know
Right.
the announcer isn't him. I
No,
was
that's
like
the guy from Roseanne.
Isn't that also Gene Parmesan from
Yes,
Arrested
yes,
Development?
it's Gene Parmesan.
So
Yeah.
Martin,
Yeah.
Martin Mull. Right?
Yeah. So I know that's not him. I thought they were doing another meta joke.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, oh, he's dead? Oh, shit.
Which I knew he was dead going into. I remember. Okay, so this is funny. I rewatched the movie for this, and I had only seen it the one time when it first
Mhm.
streamed.
Right.
And the first time I had watched it, I was like, "Wait, somebody's playing an older." I was like, "This fucking guy's dead." Like it
Yeah.
really. I was like, very weird choice.
Yeah.
And then upon a rewatch, when you know you're going into it, you kind of appreciate that more. That weirdness.
Yeah, it's definitely it's meant to get someone who doesn't know any better.
Yeah, got me.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, me.
right.
Got me.
Yeah.
I
I didn't know.
Well, that's why I
Yeah.
told you to go in blind because
I
I
did.
didn't want
I
you
went
to
in
look up
completely blind,
anything.
yeah.
Because I figured you were like me and the twist would work on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, let me I go in blind. And midway through the movie, I'm like, wait a minute. What's happening here? Like, cause it wasn't really making sense why this is like a documentary thing. Like,
Yeah.
why is he
Yeah.
like why does this movie exist if it's a doc? I was very confused.
Yeah, I could see
got
that.
me.
I thought it was an odd choice. I
Actually,
really
yeah,
did.
one of my
I
first
kind of like it.
one of
I
my
kinda
first
like it
notes
in
was like,
retrospect,
is
I
this a
was saying, but-
documentary?
Right.
like that was one of my first notes.
I was a little familiar with the story just from years of listening to like Ron Fez and Opie and Anthony.
Mhm.
This inevitably is going to come up, all this stuff.
Because they
especially-
talk about comedy.
Right.
Talk about comedy and
Caddyshack a lot.
Caddyshack is
Yeah,
like the
those
number
guys.
one thing
Yeah.
that gets referenced on the O&A show.
Yeah.
Billy Baru.
Yeah, Billy Baru.
Well, you said you never saw Caddyshack, but you told me you watched it because of this.
I had never seen Caddyshack and I hadn't seen Animal House in probably like 15 years. So yesterday I did a double feature. I watched both.
I'm glad you did because I haven't seen Animal House in just that long ago.
Have you ever
easily.
seen Caddyshack?
I don't think I've ever seen the whole thing.
Oh,
and I
okay.
know that fairly recently on this program, I bashed both of those movies. And now here we are talking about them. And I think I'm going to have to eat my own words after this discussion, right? I am, ain't I?
So
It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
I've been
I will
down that
say,
road.
I will say, I really, really liked Caddyshack watching it. I had never seen it.
because we had talked and he told me he'd never seen it. I was
Mhm.
like, oh my god, dude, it's literally my favorite comedy. I told you, I had like my holy trinity. Ghostbusters, Blues Brothers, Caddyshack. Those are my
Mhm.
3 favorite movies.
All right.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain Blues Brothers.
Yeah,
we have a vendetta against Blues Brothers.
Really?
Yes.
They
Oh
do.
my
So-
I don't know. I
So
didn't see
I
it.
watched it for the first time last year, right?
Yeah.
Because it's
What, the Blues Brothers?
Blues Brothers.
Okay.
It's something that has been venerated.
Mhm.
And so a listener of the show asked me what I thought about it. I was like, I've never seen it. And he was giving me shit that I had never seen it. And he's like, you got to watch it. Tell me what you think. And he kept messaging me. I was like, okay. So I sat down
So
one day.
you saw it under duress. It doesn't,
Well,
doesn't count.
hold on,
That's
hold on,
not
hold on.
the same as enjoying a movie. That's a gun.
It was a
to the
punishment.
head. Yeah.
So I sat down to watch it, and the stunts are cool, like totally filmed well and all that. I don't get the humor. I don't know
Why?
what it like. I don't find the jokes almost. You know what I mean? It didn't click with
It's
me.
guys singing and dancing competently. They're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Why is this a comedy?
It's because it's just the ridiculousness of it, and it's so deadpan. It's kind of like it's in the vein of Ghostbusters, where you have these guys doing this like wild job, but they're so deadpan about it. They're like fucking
It's taken very
janitors.
seriously.
Yeah,
Yes.
like you know what I mean? Like well, by everybody else, but they're just like we give a fuck. And Blues Brothers kind of like that. Like they're in a building that gets like a fucking
Explodes,
and
yeah.
they just get up and like, it's time to go to work. Like it's just like it's just.
And
that
then there's a random
absurdness.
performance from like Tina Turner or something.
Oh, Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Franklin.
Close
Yeah.
enough.
James Brown.
Yeah, but like the car flipping through the air, like all this crazy. It's just a
Illinois
absurdist
Nazis.
comedy. It's just very
It's
bizarre.
just crazy things happening and them not reacting to it. Okay.
That's the Aykroyd school of comedy.
Yeah. Which it just doesn't do it for me. I see. Full disclosure, like all this National Lampoon, the American. This kind of took over American comedy, right?
Mhm.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the 80s, yeah, late
Yeah.
70s,
Yeah.
early 80s.
And then SNL, kind of picked up the ball where they dropped it.
Right.
I am definitely more drawn to like the Monty Python type stuff from that era, and like that type of stuff, Mel Brooks, than this. It just never got. I never got into it the way and it's so venerated, and obviously it's important. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Although the vacation movies are fantastic.
Okay. See, that
Yeah.
falls
Yeah.
in.
Right.
I'm the opposite. I
Mhm.
never really got into Python as a
Mhm.
kid. Like I steered more towards like Spinal Tap and stuff.
Which has
Yeah.
what's his
Christopher
name?
Guest.
A
Well, no.
lot of those guys.
One of
Tony
the-
Hedra.
Tony
yeah.
Hedra. Tony Hedra's
Yeah.
in Spinal Tap. He's
Yeah.
one of the main guys, and he's the
Yeah.
British guy.
Mhm.
The British guy in the Lampoon.
Yeah.
A lot of
Uh,
those guys. They all kind of
yeah.
ran in the same circles.
That's
and
good
I
stuff.
Was,
Well, it's the
yeah.
American comedy scene
Right.
and Canadian, where they're all
Right.
kind of working together.
John Candy is kind of like a peripheral guy too.
Yeah,
Like-
Moranis,
yeah,
all those guys.
all those
yeah.
Second City guys.
Eugene
Right.
Levy, like they
Mhm.
kind of all bounced in.
Right.
They all literally ran in the same circles.
Did you ever see Waiting for Guffman?
Yeah, of course.
How great is
Yeah.
I
that?
fucking love
I love it. I'm more of a Mighty Wind guy because I'm,
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
actually in a jug band and we yeah
Really?
yeah Wahoo Skiffle Crazy.
What is
Staten
that
Island's,
like?
Only jug band for like 15, 17 years we've played. It's wild.
Did you ever
man.
play at the Richmond Town
Yeah,
Tavern?
play Richmond Town.
Oh my
We play-
god,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
we play Richmond Town Tavern. We do
so
that every
fucking
winter.
local today.
Yeah.
Someone on Staten Island is listening to this going, fuck yeah, Richmond Town.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm
They
the
got
jug
amazing
player.
spiced wine.
I'm the actual.
How many
jug
members
player.
are in the jug band?
Fuck, we're about 7 right now.
And does
I think.
anybody have a washboard?
Yes.
That's
Oh, fuck
fantastic.
yeah.
Bucket base, washboard.
Oh,
I literally play the jugs.
Where,
Banjo,
when are we
ukulele.
going? Where is
I'll
it?
let you know next gig.
Please.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of
Yeah.
slowed down. We play like a lot of festivals and stuff
Uh-huh.
now instead of bar gigs.
Do you wear an
'Cause we're all
outfit?
older. No, not really.
Just your normal clothes.
But my normal clothes are usually something just stupid. Anyway, to be honest.
I think
I
it's
think
a-
if you're playing the jug, you need suspenders, right?
No,
No?
it's some fat guy.
I think
He puts
there's-
suspenders on me
I think
and-
there's a Renaissance fair like August 12th to 13th. Try playing that.
He's booking you now.
I'll say, 13th, I have a gig. I'll plug it later. I'll plug it later. That's
All right.
I got a
Yeah,
comedy
yeah.
gig. I definitely can't do that. Now.
Where are you guys at with this kind of era?
Okay, so I kind of fell towards your style where
Mhm.
like I really liked the Vegas Vacation, the vacation movies. I liked like the National Lampoon's Christmas thing. I never really fell into like the Caddyshack.
Yeah.
I never really appreciated the Animal
It was
House.
always
We
just
watched-
something that's
Stuff like
there.
Oh, I'm gonna call you out because we watched Animal House a lot.
I never
at your
fell
house.
into Animal House. No, I would not watch Animal House. It was a DVD or tape.
It was a DVD on Animal House.
Owned by my parents.
Yeah, but we used to watch it.
we'd put it in. But I like as an adult, like a thinking adult, I don't really like. I can't tell you the last time I watched it. You know, or
But-
I don't appreciate Animal House and like
The way you do all this stuff.
the way I would other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't know much about Kennedy
Kenny.
going into this.
Era.
Mimi Beardsley.
So seeing this definitely made me want to rewatch some of it because it's like
That's
you know
yeah,
like
that's
I
interesting.
definitely
would
had
have
that
a
effect.
different perspective because
Yeah.
of what this dude was doing. You know, so
Yeah,
I'd
that's,
do that,
that,
you
that
know?
yeah, that could flip
Yeah.
it. A
I
little.
would give Animal House a watch.
yeah, because I like full disclosure as well. I didn't enjoy this movie as much as I wanted to. I didn't think the acting was there, but the story, I was like, oh, okay. I was
didn't-
kind of
yeah.
enamored by
You
it.
didn't enjoy like the never have a close up of the famous people, but it's just like they do real good impressions of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
What
really
dude
weren't
doing
good impressions.
Dangerfield?
Yeah.
It's the best voice.
Yeah, he
I've
did
ever
perfect
heard.
Dangerfield.
But you don't want to see his
The
face.
Bill Murray guy is shockingly good.
You want to hear something crazy? That's John Daly. He was a UCB improv teacher of mine.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah?
He played the John. Yeah, I had like weird, like
You
like
were in the
things with
UCB?
for a little bit. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. But well, that's what I'm a sketch comedy guy. I come from a sketch comedy background, and that's I think why I was drawn more towards
Well, that's
those
definitely what
movies.
this is.
I
Yeah.
was an SNL dude. I was a
Mhm.
Big Kids in the Hall dude. So that's like where my comedy leans.
What's your favorite SNL era?
the original cast?
No, I'm gonna be honest. It was like the Farley Sandler,
Mm-hmm.
Chris Rock,
Early to
David
mid
Spade.
90s.
Yeah, right before like Farrell got in.
Right.
But like as Dana Carvey was kind of
Mhm.
going out.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. And into the Will Ferrell. The Will Ferrell stuff is just great. I think
Yeah.
he's the best cast member they ever had.
He's one of,
Agreed.
in my opinion, but
I think it's
I don't think his
generation-based.
whole cast was
Mm-hmm.
my favorite.
You think it's generation based? I don't know, man.
I think you kind of gravitate towards the ones
When you were like 10.
when you were like between like 10 and like 16. It's like that's the best SNL cast. Yeah, you know, like Will Ferrell is like the fucking man for us because we all watched him on SNL and then he's doing Anchorman.
Yeah.
You know, for you're watching Chris Farley and then he's doing like Tommy Boy.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Sure.
So I
Yeah.
think that helps. And like the first gen people, it's like they're watching Chevy Chase and then
Chevy,
he's doing Chevy
Belushi.
Chase shit.
Yeah.
I think
Being
everyone
angry.
hates everyone hates Chevy Chase. I don't think.
he's reviled.
Yeah, universally. And he only did that one season. He fucking left.
Yeah.
There's like so many fucking. He was supposed to be in Animal House, and
So-
he didn't want to fucking do the movie because he didn't want to share a spotlight with Belushi.
Yeah.
He's like a total dickbag.
Chevy Chase in this is played by Joe McHale. Do you know why they cast Joe McHale?
So perfect. Yeah, because of Community.
Yeah,
They were on the same show, right?
Yeah, and they fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
McHale
Oh, that's
like
funny.
hates him, like wants him to die.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great.
So that's why they
everyone
cast
who worked-
McHale.
Like everyone who worked with him.
Yeah.
He seems like a horrible human being.
Yeah.
And even in this movie, you kind of don't like him.
Well, he's like a villain almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Like
really
he's,
kind of.
he's kind of leading Doug Kenney to death.
Mhm.
In a way, in a sense.
Yeah.
And he's sexually abusive towards people, and he's just a mean-spirited person.
That's Chevy
Who,
Chase.
who
You
does
know?
pratfalls.
Yeah. Now he does real falls.
yeah.
So let's
Let's dive
jump
into
the
who is
film.
Doug
Yeah.
Kenney, Brian?
Doug Kenney is one of the founders of the National Lampoon,
Right.
which obviously went on to kind of shape American comedy.
yes.
You know, from the 60s into the 80s, I'll
Which
say.
was the Harvard Lampoon.
The Harvard
Harvard
Lampoon was
Lampoon
the
first,
magazine
yeah.
first, and then they nationalized it.
And there's actually a third guy that's not in the movie that founded the
That's
magazine
right.
with them.
Completely not represented in the movie. His name is Rob Hoffman.
Completely erased from history in
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know
messed up.
like what to even say
Yeah.
about him because I just don't know anything. Like when I watched the doc, he's barely in that too.
They don't
It's
even-
almost like this movie was an adaptation of that documentary.
Yeah, like a
Kind
of.
truncated, like the Cliff Notes
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seemed very like very selective of who they put
Yeah.
in this story because like
They tell you straight up too.
oh
Like,
yeah at the beginning
yeah,
like,
the
a bunch
intro,
of other
yeah.
writers
Yeah.
Like, sorry, we can't add you. Get out of here.
yeah
it's like we have to make a narrative and these people are
That
just
was
gonna
funny.
fuck it up.
That
yeah.
was funny.
Even
I
when
think
they
that
get to like SNL times, like you don't have like a guy playing Dan Aykroyd, who's like a
Right.
huge cast
Yeah.
member. Of
Right.
the show, you know what I mean? Like they just were like, you know what? He doesn't
It's not
factor
relevant
into
to the
it.
Kenny story.
Yeah, so we're not gonna put it in here. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So the movie opens with a quote which says, "These last few days are the happiest I've ever ignored."
Mhm.
That was actually on a piece of paper that they found in Kenny's room when they went to investigate after
Hawaii?
he was dead.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was in
Yeah.
his hotel room. So Gene Parmesan comes out as Doug Kenney,
I'm Gene Parmesan.
and
All right.
they start running through his like boomer movie credentials that like he's
Yes.
made
Right.
because of National Lampoon. And then it cuts to Harvard 1964, and there's a penis name tag, and it's the Harvard Lampoon.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, so you've got now it turns into the Brian and Steve story.
okay, I'm
Which is-
glad, dude. I actually I'm so glad you said it and not me.
Oh no, I was on the same
I'm
page.
totally
We're on the
Kenny.
same page. Yeah.
I'm totally Doug Kenney.
Oh, yeah.
And he's totally Harry.
100%.
And,
Yep.
and I gotta say, I'm sorry, Steve. I'm an
Thank you.
asshole to you. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Much appreciated. I was watching
Now I'm
this
gonna
and
go to Hawaii and jump
I'm
off.
sitting there like I'm sitting there watching it as well, and I'm like, what?
That's why he didn't like it.
Yeah.
Like there's such a really interesting
really was, like,
coincidence here.
Wow, these characters, this is what's happening in front of me every week. One guy's just hyper ambitious and over the top, and the other guy has to pick up all the pieces
Yes, yeah.
and get mad.
That's me.
Where I'm like, we just gotta get shit done. We can expand it to this, and this. Let's figure it out.
We're gonna do live shows. We can't even get videos out.
Yeah.
But we do. We put it together.
So these two guys are at home. Well, it actually starts with the funeral of his brother.
Yeah, quick, but then they cut away from it.
Yeah.
They don't show you who it is. They just show up he's at a funeral. He doesn't
Mhm.
want to get out of the car
In Ohio.
in Ohio, 1958. 1958, yeah.
Yeah.
Also very interesting. They kind of opened the movie. It's like blurry, and he doesn't have his glasses on. And I think it's kind of like a tag for later when he goes off the cliff and leaves his glasses.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's a good.
It's a
Yeah.
good
Sure.
pickup.
Yeah, I didn't get
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, so they're at Harvard and they're the funny guys and they run the Harvard Lampoon, which is like a humor it's the country's oldest humor magazine.
Mhm.
And they're very successful with this.
What's your favorite
Apparently.
humor magazine?
I can't name one.
Mad.
Mad.
Crap.
Oh yeah,
It's
Mad,
Mad.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, did anybody here ever read a National Lampoon? Because I never like
Magazines-
maybe I was a little too young for that.
I think
Yeah.
magazines are just too archaic for us. We're just too young.
So I used to read Mad Magazine and Cracked. I loved Cracked.
Did you?
Yeah.
I was a Mad guy. To me, Cracked was like the fake Mad. I would still pick it up because weirdly, because as an illustrator, I would love the artwork, like these guys,
Jaffe?
Al Jaffe, and like Mort Drucker, like these guys drawing like scenes from movies, and where like as a kid you didn't have like a comic book of Bill Murray as a Ghostbuster.
Uh-huh.
You had a cartoon version, and so like
Sure,
to see somebody
yeah.
drawing it, I was like, oh, this is so cool. So I would pour over that.
Are you a comic book guy?
Huge comic book guy.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. I was a huge comic book guy,
Mhm.
and I fell off probably 8 years ago.
Okay.
I stopped reading major.
Well,
Publisher
the
stuff.
industry is very different.
Yes,
these
I
days
know.
than
That's
it
I kind of
now.
was like, I'm out of this, guys.
Right.
Yeah.
I
You
get
weren't
it.
alone on
So-
that one.
Yeah. So I
you
was-
and millions of others.
Yeah.
They stopped caring about what longtime readers like,
Yeah.
and they were just like, "Yeah, we'll try
We're
to.
gonna implode our own
We're
industry.
gonna try to go after an audience that's not there that will never pick this shit up."
Exactly. Well, it
Right.
seems to be a current
Yeah.
trend on a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it started in comics first, and I was like, this
Yep.
isn't for me anymore. I gotta go.
Which is funny because this movie is like almost the exact opposite. They they make something that is almost, it felt forbidden in society at this point, but gained immense popularity so fast.
They're riding the culture wave 100%,
Well,
and you got to give them a lot of credit for just having entrepreneurial grit. Like they're inventing
Well,
shit.
they wrote
you
the
know?
book Lord of the Ring.
Yeah,
It's like a Lord of the Rings spoof.
parody. It's a
Yeah.
parody.
Yeah,
of-
like-
Yeah, that was their.
Yeah.
And they wrote Tolkien, and they got his permission.
Tolkien sent them a letter. and
Oh, really?
Gave
Uh-huh.
them personal permission to do that. Yeah, yeah.
That's wild.
But
But they're
real
the
quick,
troublemakers at Harvard, which
Right, which tells you right there they're extremely
They're
intelligent
They're
guys.
geniuses.
Yeah.
And that's a thing people don't realize with a lot of the like best comedy writers of the last 20, 30 years. A lot of them were Harvard guys, like Conan,
Yeah.
Al Jean,
Yeah.
fucking all the Simpsons
Harvard,
guys.
then it moved to like Emerson, kind of like it was
Right.
like in between those two.
And a lot of those guys went through Lampoon magazine. Like
Yeah,
they worked
sure,
there.
yeah.
You know?
I'm actually I'm holding out for like a Amazon Prime Board of the Rings prequel series. That's
I would
fucking
totally
terrible.
watch that.
Yeah. where
It's gotta be better than the other
where
one.
they make Frodo a black midget.
Yeah.
He's not even a fucking hobbit.
Not even a
Stings
I'm all
of
in.
shower.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yeah. So they got this magazine and they're really successful at it. They actually made some money off of the Harvard Lampoon too. I believe there was a fashion magazine called Mademoiselle
Uh-huh.
that they parodied and let them put ads in it and stuff. And they gave the Mademoiselle magazine put free subscriptions to the Harvard Lampoon in their thing, and that's what blew them up.
Basically, they would write like satire articles for them, and it would help the National Lampoon make money.
Right.
It's not in the movie, but
The Harvard
cool.
Lampoon.
Harvard Lampoon. Sorry, I'm gonna keep doing that probably.
Well, right now, done with Harvard Lampoon. Don't have to talk about it.
Okay,
anymore.
great.
So they're almost national.
Right. So Doug Kenney comes up with the idea. They're going to finish school.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be over.
Henry's going to go to Columbia or
Harry.
Georgetown. Excuse me. Harry's going to go to
Or is
Columbia
it Henry?
or
No, he is Henry. Yeah, Henry
Okay.
Beard. Yeah.
Yeah.
piece of shit.
Put me in my place.
They're going to go to Georgetown or Columbia, so which I'm assuming he's going for either like a master's or a doctorate.
Right,
because
they're gonna be
in
lawyers or
Harvard.
something.
Yeah. So you have to get more training.
Mm-hmm.
First off, Georgetown and Columbia are the top schools in the country. Like period.
Right.
Like so Henry is a fucking beyond genius. He is like
Yeah.
the next big thing wherever he goes.
He could have done anything.
Anything
Yes,
on earth.
anything he did, he was going to be successful.
But he just
at.
happens
Yeah.
to be a really funny guy.
And Doug is very convincing.
Tempting.
Very tempting.
I'm like Doug Kenney, but not funny. Doug unfunny.
Can't wait till you jump off a cliff.
Okay. So they decide to open a magazine, and the way he convinces Harry or Henry, what is it?
Henry.
It's Henry.
He says, once it's not fun, just walk away.
Right.
That's it. You could quit.
Right.
And
Yeah, well, he convinces him to do the magazine.
but I love when they go to like Modern Sandwich.
Yeah. Well, they're going to every magazine under the sun to try and get a sponsor to fund
Mhm.
the thing.
And
To get it off the ground.
in Modern Sandwich, that was actually a real, not that particular magazine, but they did walk away and they were like, "Fuck you guys, commuting from Connecticut."
Yeah, that's
like-
a real story.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
really happened. Yeah.
Like word for word, the way it goes
Mhm.
down. At least that's what they said in the doc.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Then they go to Weight Watchers, and that guy,
Matt Simmons.
Matt Simmons, he's
Matt
way
Simmons.
more instrumental in real life.
He's
Yeah.
like the fourth guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
Oh, really? He
extremely
wasn't just the
important.
money. He was
He's
actually
not just
like
the money
a
man.
writer?
He's like
Yeah, he's like a
big part of it.
producer.
He's the guy
Yeah,
steering the
yeah,
ship.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Okay.
just made him as like some kind of jerk off like
Right.
in the
Yeah.
movie, but like he
Yeah.
was another.
And once those
Creative
two
force.
guys are gone, he's the man in charge. You know? Once he buys them
He
out.
steers that ship right into the fucking ground.
Not true, because National Lampoon existed well into the 90s.
It
went
still
on-
it
No,
still exists.
Well, the
I
magazine.
think
I'm
they
talking-
still put out Corey Feldman movies, right?
Oh, we're gonna play a game later with that.
Oh, you said you had a
Yeah.
game. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. The magazine went on until 96.
No, it had a good run.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's great. It actually was published till 90s. I've never seen
Well,
it on
what-
the news.
so what
I've
hap-
never read
What
it.
happened is after like kind of the humor started dying and magazine sales started to dip in general, they started to put more tits in the magazine to try to
Right,
sell it more.
right.
Yeah.
But it had the adverse effect because now it had to be buried
Yeah.
or like behind counters.
Mhm. So if you were selling it at 7-Eleven, now someone has to come in and actually ask for it. They won't see it on
Exactly.
the rack.
So like
yeah.
a kid like us, maybe like there would have just been a cool parody that
Mhm.
we just grab.
Right.
You can't.
You can't do that
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And I imagine the competition started to become a lot stiffer.
Sure.
You know.
Well,
They-
the
Well,
like you said,
society
almost
started.
tits.
Yeah.
We all got a lot.
Society started to become edgier, in that way. So
Yeah.
Society started to lose its edge kind of in that way in the 90s.
well,
Oh.
they became the mainstream. You know,
Yes.
whereas
Yeah.
where they started, they are the extreme counterculture, and they took over the culture.
So let's what is comedy in when's the first issue? 1970?
70, I think.
What
70 or
is-
71.
What is comedy before then? You got Jerry Lewis shit.
Yeah, it's like Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis
Yeah.
roast.
Maybe some
Smothers
Mel Brooks,
Brothers,
right?
probably.
Yeah, Mel Brooks,
early.
Smothers Brothers,
Yeah.
Laughing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Marilyn
Yeah.
Monroe shit. This is a really big departure.
Laughing is kind of hippie shit, though. Like hippie shit is out there,
okay.
and they are the next step in that direction.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like this-
yeah.
it's definitely politically left wing tinged, and fucking just runs with that. Like they're not hardcore hippies, I don't think, but they embody that ethos.
They're just gonna make fun of anything and everything.
Yeah.
Right. Like
They're
they
comedians.
they punch both ways.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
weren't pulling their punches. They weren't
Right.
pandering.
Yeah, they started that
pandering.
kind of like that.
Yeah, they weren't pandering for laughs.
They were doing something really
Yeah.
revolutionary.
That like nothing is sacred type of comedy.
There's no holy cows.
Where I guess like Carson was big at that time. And you didn't
Yeah.
shit on people, Carson. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But these guys are
It was
doing
it was a
that.
gentle rib, you know?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
So
And
Talk
I
it to
like,
me.
I like when they. I mean, I'm going to skip ahead here, but you see, you see a montage of all like the covers that they did, and I'm assuming those are
you're
real.
skipping a
Yeah.
lot.
I know. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
but I'm saying they were doing things that really like caught your eye as opposed to just the generic comedy thing as well, like the gun with the dog, like buy this magazine.
Amazing
with this
idea.
dog. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's an iconic cover. Like
I've seen that.
I
a million
knew that
times.
cover,
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
me too.
like I
But I
knew
never read the
I knew
magazine.
Minnie Mouse flashing her tits.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah,
You
there's
know?
so many
Yeah, they-
iconic images.
Right.
They definitely did a good job by firing that art department.
Oh, yeah.
The
Right.
original
Yeah,
art
yeah.
department.
Yeah.
It's just
So
like,
Doug Kenney found some fucking weird hippie guys that do art stuff.
They know Art Crumb.
yeah, I
Right.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know
yeah,
Art
yeah.
Crumb, yeah. Like,
Yeah, do you know anything about him?
yeah, Art
Yeah,
Crumb was a
go
total
for it, man.
maniac. Guy who started like Fritz the Cat and all that. He was a counterculture artist, big into like the.
That's not Bakshi. That's not Ralph Bakshi, Fritz the Cat.
No, Ralph Bakshi.
Pull it up.
Maybe
double check
did the animated version.
Yeah, he
I
did
think,
the
I think Art
movie.
Crumb did it first.
Okay.
Did the comic.
Based on the comic strip by Robert Crumb.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Basky did the film. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
And yeah, it's just kind of like that, like nerd, like that early like Evan Dorkin style, like the like
Right.
I'm this like self-loathing nerd doing
Milk and
these-
cheese.
Yeah, milk and another Staten Island guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that paved the way for American Splendor.
Yes.
Because
Yeah. Harvey
Crumb
Pekar,
met
yeah.
Harvey Pekar.
Yeah.
Mhm. But yeah, so that was their first couple of issues with those guys, and they invented a duck mascot that's really horrible.
Yes.
Yeah,
With, like,
very
big
ugly.
teeth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks
Very
like a
ugly.
Crumb drawing,
Right.
Like it's like a really ugly. Like Crumb would draw like these really weird, spastic, ugly thing. But then like a lot of these cheesecake chicks, big
Mhm.
tits, and
Yeah.
asses. He was like a mix. It was great. It was
Yeah.
good.
So we get a scene where it's like showing the writers,
Mhm.
and it's like Tom Lennon is Michael O'Donoghue.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the guy from Reno 911.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good cast.
Tony Hedra, Annie Beats,
Uh-huh.
and just showing all these guys, and they're all played by like people you know from shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Well, they're all comedians. They're all on
Yeah.
comedy
Yeah.
shows.
they're
Yeah.
they're like the modern
the offspring
Yeah.
of this
version
Yeah,
of
exactly.
these guys.
Well, it's,
yeah.
it's important to note. David Wayne directed this film. So it's a lot of those improv people. It's a
Right.
lot of the
Right.
David Wayne's
Mhm.
from The State and Stella.
Okay.
Wet Hot American Summer.
Right.
He directed, which I love. I love,
yeah.
love that movie.
Wet Hot American Summer's fantastic.
Yeah.
If this
So-
movie was a couple years older, it'd be Amy Poehler and fucking.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
And I like this scene where they have a black guy come to like the narrator,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Why are there no black people?" And he's like, "We didn't know any blacks or Jews."
Right. There's no Jews either in the box. It's like, oh, fair point. Fair point.
And that's funny. And they show all the writers that should have been there that they cut out.
Yeah.
Another funny move.
And now we get the new art, which changes the game for them. That's really kind of
They
what
fire
started it.
the art directors, and then they get some real stuff.
Well, and the focus of these new guys was like to make it more realistic.
Yes.
And like parody like Norman Rockwell stuff.
Because what's
you know,
funny
kind
is
of-
when something's
It's
serious
brilliant,
and it's
yeah.
played straight.
Right.
Yeah.
Airplane.
Yeah.
Right.
Deadpan.
Yeah.
Deadpan.
Well, the movie
Yeah.
that killed Doug Kenney, Airplane.
Airplane.
So fucked. It really is so fucked.
What happens next?
Disney
I forgot.
sues them for $8 million. Volkswagen sues them for $30 million. They are constantly getting sued, but that brings publicity.
Right,
Yeah.
and I saw in the doc they were talking about how they really didn't make any money with when they first started out,
Mhm.
but the magazine was kind of popular. But what got them to make money was they convinced the liquor companies,
Jose Cuervo.
right, that their audience were big drinkers. They drank
Yep.
more than everyone else, so you should probably be advertising with us. And Jose Cuervo was the first one that put an ad in the magazine, and then it just blew up from there.
Yep.
Smart move.
They got everything.
Tons of sales.
Right.
And
Yeah, that's who you want, the liquor companies.
For this audience?
that,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
yes, of course.
I saw a thing where apparently Gen Z is like the most sober generation.
Doesn't
Really?
surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
There's
sounds
just, I had.
practical.
Does anyone that has lived before Gen Z have any connection with them whatsoever? They're like aliens. They
Yeah.
come from another fucking planet. Ice cream, yum.
You know, we have a
I have more in common with a man who's 75 than with someone who's 25.
Agreed.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you know.
we have, like I said, we were talking earlier. We have a TikTok. Like I don't have a TikTok, but Reviewing History has like clips.
I've never seen it.
Right, but I'm glad because we're gonna make you do that.
Oh, you want me
Live.
to do the thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that crowd. Yeah. I
Yeah.
was just talking about
Hot
something the
dog.
other day.
You
I
know,
was like,
that'd be very funny
it's
though.
like anyone under 30s like autistic.
Yeah.
Like seriously, they're just on the spectrum. There's no.
It's
Right.
this.
Yeah, you're right.
It's that.
It's the phone.
Yeah.
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 It's- As phones and information speed get faster, your lack of concentration drops as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So you have an entire generation of kids and young adults who do not have the attention span and they are just constantly in need of something.
God damn.
And
that's
that's like they're going, oh, you're on the spectrum. No, you're just addicted to your
Yeah,
phone.
you have ADHD. No,
No,
you're just a
You
fucking
just
idiot.
you just can't sit there. You know,
Yeah.
They've never been bored.
Yeah.
right?
And when people are bored, that's when they come up with their best ideas.
Oh yeah, of
You
course.
know?
But yeah,
Oh,
well,
you guys
yeah.
were talking. I'm sorry.
right, exactly. And
Well played, bro.
I think I like the scene where the producer's like, he's running out like, why'd you piss these people off? What did you do to these people? What did you do to the Mormons? What did you do to the white supremacists? No, never mind, it's fan mail.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a
Very
funny
funny.
bit.
Yeah.
That's
Very
a funny
funny.
bit.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing I give props to this movie where they have this like serious subject, but they add a lot of quips. Like,
The
there's a lot of
movie is
bits.
pretty funny within
Yeah.
of itself.
Yeah.
Right,
Which
yeah.
I credit a lot out to David Wayne. Like that, that's his style of comedy. He's a funny dude, man.
Yeah.
Very, very.
So you
funny
did
dude.
Wet Hot American Summer. What else? Let's see.
I'll tell you, he was a member of Stella and also directed a lot of that. And he came from the state.
Oh, he did Role Models. I like that movie.
Yeah.
They Came Together, which I thought was a pretty like funny romantic comedy spoof.
Yes.
Did you ever see that?
No.
It's like spoofing every romantic comedy, but played completely straight. But it's like the most shitty rom com.
Okay.
It's really fucking
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, he's a funny dude. I
Yeah.
like Wayne a lot.
Will Forte, who plays Doug Kenney, he's actually a very good actor.
Yes.
Not in
He's-
this.
You don't think so? I thought he did a great
Me
job.
too.
I think he
I
was pretty
think he's
bad in
pretty
this.
You don't think he did good?
I think he
No, that's
is
just me.
good.
I'm alone on this one.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
okay with
I
that.
think he's pretty good. I think he kind of like. I think Doug Kenney was a weird guy, and he just went for it.
And Will Forte is kind of a weird guy.
he's a weird guy too.
Yeah.
He was great in Nebraska.
That's what I was going to say. That movie's
Do you know what?
awesome.
What was that movie that he was in? The MacGyver movie.
MacGruber.
MacGruber, yeah.
I feel like it's
Will
almost,
Forte.
like almost the same character.
no.
No.
Like at least his
Yeah.
acting, I didn't see many differences.
So you
in
just
it.
see Will Forte when you
yeah,
see him.
yeah.
Mm.
No.
Which to me, I'm like, yeah, that's not good acting. I
I don't know.
just see him. You know?
I thought this was a pretty good performance. I gotta say.
Do you remember that Tim and Eric bit where he is like teaching a bunch of little kids, but he's mad at his dad and he keeps wetting himself?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Forting with Will.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's building a fort.
I didn't
He's
see
building
it.
like a pillow fort.
I didn't see it, but I'm gonna have to watch it.
See,
now.
I thought this was a different thing for him because his usual, like his go-to is like a guy who starts like flipping out and getting mad.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see it in I Think You Should Leave. He was just on.
I was gonna
The
bring that
ponytail
up.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's always like that guy who just snaps. Like
He used to be Ted Turner on Conan. He would ride.
Oh, yes,
He would
you're
ride into
right.
the studio on a fake
Yes,
buffalo and just start
yes.
screaming.
yeah, yes. So he was always like that guy. And I think this role, he doesn't do any of that.
He also had that show, Last Man on Earth,
Yeah,
which I had never seen, but
Mhm.
supposedly he was awesome in it.
yeah, it's pretty good.
It's good?
Yeah, I
Okay.
would give it a watch. But yeah, I genuinely I loved him on SNL. Like
Mhm.
he's just like had a weird.
I feel like he's an
Sense of comedy.
underrated cast member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And like he kind of went out of his comfort zone and just did like interesting things.
He got eclipsed by the guy who wrote
Bill
for
Hader?
South Park. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like around the
Well,
same
he,
time.
Yes.
he eclipsed like everyone.
Yeah.
He was like the
Hader
new
is-
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, he was.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
like an
Anything that
everyman
man
type of
touches
guy.
is, instantly good.
Yeah,
Even Barry, like the show is.
I haven't
yeah,
seen it.
yeah.
it's
Barry's a good
awesome.
show. Yeah,
I watched like half the first season with my wife and then she lost interest and like
He stopped.
I
Which
felt
pretty much makes me a vegetarian.
yeah. I felt bad going beyond, but I'm gonna go back and finish it eventually. 'cause
Yeah.
I was enjoying
no,
it.
he's very
it's
good.
good.
At
But
that.
I get the sense out of both Forte and Hader, they're guys that seem to be working on things they want to be working on.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah,
seem
sure.
like guys that are like stuck doing these like other like a fucking Chris Kattan or something, like all these other guys
Yeah.
are just like
Poor Chris Kattan.
poor Chris Kattan.
He really just-
Corky Romano
Corky
himself.
Romano,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You
Would you
guys,
guys
want
like
some cookies?
The scene when he does cocaine in that movie's funny.
I don't remember. I saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
That's the only time I ever
Oh,
But
saw
alright.
it.
he was like
I was
him and
doing
Will
so much
Ferrell.
cocaine, I couldn't remember his cocaine scene.
Him and Will Ferrell are like right there together, where it's like they're gonna be the next big thing. Both these guys, and then Chris
Chris
Kattan,
Kattan.
and he just
Yeah.
whoop
Yeah.
gone.
You want to hear some great Chris Kattan stories? You got to listen to Norm Macdonald.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. They hate each other.
really?
Oh, they did. Norm's
Yeah.
dead. Yeah.
How could you hate Norm?
Well, Norm's probably the funniest man of the last.
Yeah. How do you
50
hate
Yeah.
Norm?
Yeah.
Norm is great.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people hated Kattan.
Yeah.
Oh really? Was he
Yeah.
like a little prick?
Yeah, I think he was just like not.
Norm said he used to
Yeah.
write sketches where he got to make out with the guests, like with
Okay.
hot chicks, like with J-Lo and shit. Do you remember that mango? It was like the biggest
Oh,
mango.
the monkey man thing.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Peepers?
No, mango.
Oh, Mango,
Mango.
you're
Okay.
right. That was
He was
Mr.
the diva.
Peepers. Yeah, Mango
And-
was the
and
dancer guy.
He
yeah.
like has a wrestling match with Jennifer Lopez in like 1999, so it's
Yeah.
super hot Jennifer Lopez.
Mm.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
yeah.
He saw an
Yeah.
opportunity
Yeah.
and took it.
Took the mango way out.
But yeah, back to
So in the
Where we were.
movie, we see like all the different covers, and I love the Ted Kennedy Volkswagen image, where if Ted Kennedy,
Oh yes.
Oh,
yeah.
In the
drove-
Chappaquiddick.
yes,
Yeah.
if because a Volkswagen would float, I guess
Right,
is
yeah,
the
yeah,
joke.
yeah, yeah.
Then we see the dog cover, which is iconic.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
The sales are
Buy this or
skyrocketing,
Kill the dog.
and now we get a scene where it's like Doug is working hard and he's asleep at the desk.
Well, it also shows he's absent in his life, right? He's absent in his marriage. He doesn't have friends. He's literally just
Yeah.
working nonstop.
He's a workaholic.
Yeah, and he has to be because of what happened, and it makes sense. And he's gaining popularity. They're selling ad space.
Mhm.
He gets invited on a talk show, which I don't know if this is real or not. In the
Oh,
scene.
that's such a funny scene. Though.
Yeah,
It really, I
where
love
he's
that.
fucking with the host, and the host is trying to like speak to him, and he just keeps messing with him.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It's like, is that a marijuana cigarette? He puts it out.
Right.
No.
Yeah, and it's like he's a troublemaker. Just
Yeah.
like he didn't change out of that Harvard status where he was a troublemaker then and just continued.
Yeah,
and,
well,
like, built an
he's-
empire out
He's
of
going to
it,
be
you
the
know?
guy that's shooting spitballs.
He
in
has
the
a
back of
chip
the
on his
car.
shoulder.
Yeah,
You know,
it's yeah. Some of it's angry.
it's
you know?
angst at his
Oh,
family
yeah.
and that background and those
Mhm.
people.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
just happens to be a genius where he was able to get into Harvard.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know,
I think they kind of show that side of him brilliantly, like from the beginning when you see him at that first Harvard mixer and he's like meets Henry Beard and he's like, look at these guys, and he just picks up food and starts throwing
Yeah.
it.
yeah, the
Right.
food
Like, he
fight.
just had a disdain for upper class and
Yeah.
stuff, which is weird because
He is
was
that.
upper class.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But Henry Beard was like, you know, I guess he knew that like that shit is kind of pompous,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah, this is like much cooler.
Oh, they're kindred
Well, it's more
spirits.
Yeah,
fun.
exactly.
It's more fun for him, you know. And but Henry and his wife are fed up with Doug's work ethic because he's like, we got to start a radio show, and like,
Well, he keeps
Like,
taking
he
on
just
too
keeps
many.
taking
Oh
on.
my god.
So the radio show.
he sleeps with the secretary. Gives her
Oh,
a
get
raise.
him. Is that get him? Is get him our merry marshmallows? But real quick, so the radio show in the movie, get him just peered in. So in the movie, it's
Yeah.
portrayed like how it came about of him like running it, and it's a little different in real life from what I remember from the doc.
Yeah.
It was
So-
like
really?
compensation because Tony Hedra fucked.
O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue's
Oh yeah.
started dating the girl in the office.
Yes.
I forget her
Annie
name.
Beats.
Right. And she had previously been with one of the other guys in the office. And he was furious about this and wanted that guy fired. And the guy, Matt's, the
Simmons.
head muckety,
Simmons?
Matt Simmons, the head muckety muck, was like, I'm not firing him over this. But this guy, O'Donoghue, was such a maniac
Yeah, he's like a loose
that
cannon.
they had to like appease him. So they gave him the radio show. It became like his baby. And that's in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Radio show's hysterical.
The radio show ended up becoming the biggest radio show in the country. It was huge.
It's so funny.
It was like broadcasted coast to coast and went on for years and years. And that's where all that fucking SNL talented
Yes.
got farmed
Yeah,
from.
that pool.
Yeah, they
That and the
show-
Lemmings.
They showed
Yeah,
Gil
Lemon,
Radner,
yeah.
they
Which
showed
actually
Bill
happened
Murray,
before.
Yeah.
John Belushi, Chevy Chase,
Yeah.
like all the big names of those that SNL came through this radio show apparently.
Yeah.
And
They
they
became-
do
Christopher
one of the
Guest, too. Yeah.
With Seth
Yeah.
Green playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
They do like
interesting.
a bit where it's like the guy with like needles in his eyes, and here's my interpretation. He just goes, ah! And
Yeah.
he's just screaming his
Fucking
head off.
great. Yeah, it's
That's a-
Sullivan.
that's a
being
real
told.
clip.
That's real.
So
Yeah.
fucking funny.
That's and I love the
It might go
it,
something like this.
when you go to like people listening and you see people
Mhm.
like kids like hanging out in a park smoking a joint and
Right.
people sitting around laughing like
Mhm.
I love that they take it out of studio and bring it to like
Right.
street
Yeah.
level and like
It's
this is
the-
how people are enjoying this.
It's
The
the
average
edgy
person.
radio
Yeah.
before like the shock jock shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
the Stearns.
It's
Yeah.
like
movement.
it's like 20 years earlier instead of like O&A 30 years earlier. We
Yeah.
would have been hanging out listening to that.
yes,
right.
You know?
yeah,
They're right.
absolutely.
And this is where I had to take off points for the movie.
Well, hold on real quick.
Right after this.
That shit is something that's completely gone, right? Like radio style humor,
It's
sketch humor.
it's almost
it's
like
online.
that was a throwback to like 30s radio.
yes.
Yeah,
You know?
but they even said that they were like, "Oh,
Right.
we want to do a show. It's kind of like the '30s," and
Mhm.
yeah, now it's
all
it's
online.
just
It's
done.
sketch comedy
Is
via
anyone-
Instagram,
Is
via
anyone
TikTok,
doing
via
that
YouTube.
though just audio?
No.
No.
You
why
know?
would you?
Like just
Yo, I guarantee you there's podcasts.
There's some
doing it.
podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's doing it somewhere. I actually think oh God, what is his name?
No
Tim
professional
Dillon? No,
radio
never mind,
station
forget
does
it.
No, not
That's
for,
all.
my podcast, Super Live Venture. Once in a while, we'll do like produced bits. We have
Really?
like we have a running joke every episode. We do a commercial for a fake company called Egg Dump Soup. So yeah, it's eggdumpsoup.com. Yeah, so like we have like weird produced things, but not like full on like
Scripted
what they were
skits,
doing.
right,
Yeah, yeah.
You can't. It's
Yeah.
It's not the best medium for that. It's not going to reach as big an
But
audience. as
it's obviously
social
a
media
good
would.
workable medium, but there are better alternatives today. You know,
It's
Like,
not gonna
I'm talking
blow
about
up.
strictly
It'll be-
radio.
yeah.
You know, I'm not. You know,
Oh yeah.
not
But, yeah.
audio. Like just audio, sure. But radio is different than audio.
oh,
You
I
know,
see what you're
Radio doesn't just
Radio's
even
like
exist
Not gonna-
anymore.
Well,
Video
that's
killed
what he
the radio
kinda-
star.
That's what he kind of.
saying. Really? Where did
Yeah.
you hear that?
Some song.
Some buggle.
Yeah. All right. So what did you take points off for?
The only real scene that had any like emotional value was completely cut, basically.
What do you mean?
It's his wife catching him with another woman and
Oh.
leaving him. And
He
instead
didn't care.
I know.
You know?
And they just put it in a comic strip.
I like
I
that
kind of
touch.
like that because it kind of showed how
Yeah, I
the
hated
book took over his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess if you put it like that, sure,
Yeah.
it's
Like, that
interesting
was
and cool,
his
but
perspective. at
this
that
is
point.
where I could have gotten
I'll
like
tell you
some
this.
film thing, and it felt like it was a cop out. It was
When-
like we can do this real quick and not have to film this.
When I watched the documentary, none of that is even mentioned.
Yeah. They don't mention.
They don't
the
even
divorce.
bring it up that he
That's
was
crazy.
married or divorced.
I hear what you're
crazy.
saying. I know what you're saying because it gives it more of a human aspect.
right.
But I think it would have hurt the comedy, and I think they were just
Right.
shooting for it to be a comedy.
They want
I
this
don't
to
think
be
they want it
fun
to be
until
heavy.
the end.
They want to
Yeah.
keep it
Sure.
keep it as
Yeah.
light as humanly
Yeah, I
possible.
don't think they want it that heavy.
I get that, but
yeah.
you know, in a realm of someone's life, you're not happy 24/7. You're not. You're not
And
having
he's
fun.
not. I mean,
24/7.
they
no,
have
he's
that whole
obviously
thing where he has a mental
not.
breakdown.
Oh, yeah.
I
That's
feel
from
like
Rhode Island.
this is just my opinion why I took off the points for it, because it's like I really wish I saw some depth to him in this scene. If there was a scene
I
to
get
do it,
Yeah.
it's now.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you just here's a comic strip because we don't want to take the time. That's what
Right.
it felt like. It did, like, although they did it in a very good artistic way. You know,
I liked it. Like I said, I thought it really it showed how this is what his life had fucking become. Like
Right.
he's so obsessed with the work, and it's like a fucking comic strip. He's not even
Yeah.
a person
Right.
anymore.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
fucking
good.
character. You know?
And
it's a good way to take it.
Yeah.
from what I understand, like he was carrying the place. Like people weren't meeting deadlines, and he'd make up.
Yeah.
he'd
he was
pick up their
taking
slack
work.
Well, they
yeah.
show that here.
You know,
Yeah.
like even like the movie kind of portrays Beard as kind of the workhorse, but before he left, because he does leave, spoiler.
Yeah.
It was Kenny who was doing the magazine. It was his
Right.
fucking thing.
Kenny
You know?
was writing like an insane amount per
Right.
day.
Yeah,
But it also seems like it was paired with like partying and drugs and stuff.
of course.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Simultaneously, like
Yeah.
They were doing that
So-
and, getting
Mhm.
creative by getting high.
him,
you know?
Right.
him, sure, but him.
Like-
He's the boss. Like you're creating the environment you want in the room, and if
And
you're
that's
gonna,
the environment they want.
Yeah.
well, that's the thing. If that's the environment you want of partying and stuff, and then people don't meet deadlines, you can't really like be mad about it.
Oh, I don't think he
you
was.
know?
I think he just did the work.
Yeah,
he just did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eventually
yeah.
it burnt him out though.
But you
Right.
also can't be like, expecting to live the same style of life of like a
Mhm.
regular person while doing that.
Yeah, taking a
You
bunch
know?
of acid all day.
Right.
Right.
You can't just
Yeah,
have
like,
a wife and then do that. So
Yeah.
It was like they'd get fucked up, hang out at night, and then the next day come up with the ideas of the show. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
The show.
Well,
the-
also,
the-
I know.
the
it's
magazine.
another contemporary at the time, which didn't even think of, but now it's making me think of it. Cheech and Chong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
sure.
you kind of have a little bit of
In the
that.
same wheelhouse.
Yeah. Where it's
That was
drugs,
That was California.
marriage.
There in New York.
Yeah.
Frog in a
Yeah.
blender.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the frog in a blender sketch?
What's that, Cheech?
Yeah, it was like an audio sketch. It's like, what's 100 miles per hour and what's green and red? It goes 100
Yeah,
miles per
yeah.
hour. Frog in a blender.
Yeah.
It was like it's a famous. Dave's not home.
Hey, Blondie.
Yeah, but like the Dave's not home shit.
No.
Dave's not here, man. It's like a famous audio
No.
recording that Cheech and Chong put
Yeah,
out.
I don't really know Cheech.
They
and
had like
Chong
comedy
stuff.
albums and
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we get a live show where we see John Belushi, and
It's,
they talk.
John Gemberling is playing. John Gemberling.
Is that his name?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he looks like him that much.
I'm a big Belushi. Full disclosure, I don't know if you guys know this. I was contacted by Sony Pictures. Jason Reitman's doing a film about the first night of SNL called The
Mhm.
Wolverines, and this was right before the writers' strike went down.
Oh fuck.
And
no.
they found me, and I auditioned for the role. I had to read a cold open from the second season of SNL.
I got. Why do you look just like him?
Why do you look the way
Are
you
you doing
do?
this on purpose?
Oh, I wore this on purpose.
I know,
Yeah.
obviously that, but the hair, you
face.
did.
Oh, because I'm gonna be out in Joliet again in September. So, and I'll be at I dress like Jake Blues at a lot of conventions and stuff like that.
Oh, so you
so
do
next
like
weekend I'm
you
gonna
do
be out.
impersonation.
Oh yeah, I have a full Instagram account called Baby Belushi.
All
That's
right.
why he's here.
Yeah,
I just didn't know. I'm sorry.
yeah. So it's like
Do you do his voice?
It's constant. Well, haven't
Do you do his voice?
for his audition I did.
Oh yeah.
I kind
You
of
wanna
I
give us
tapped
some?
into it. I would have to.
all right.
I spent like 3 days trying.
How'd the audition go? How did you feel?
I don't know. Oh, I felt it went great, but
Yeah.
then like
Did you do the
that's when it
samurai?
all went down. No, they had me read this cold open where he like holds the show hostage for like he never got to open it with the live from New York, you know. So he's like, I'm out here and like they said I could do it, but here's my list of demands, and I'm not going to open it. And then somebody gives him a letter, and he's reading it, and he accidentally reads, and it starts the opening. But dude, I felt it went great, and then everything went fucking silent. Yeah, and I'm like, so like, and like this was the end of May. About a month later, end of June, I was talking to Sal Volcano from Impractical Jokers. And I'm like, Sal, this went down, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh shit. And it was like, it's been a month. He goes, you're fine. I was like, yeah. I was like, you're the guy I know. You're the highest on the food chain that I know.
Right.
He's like, you're fine. I'm like, thank you, pal. But incidentally, I'm gonna see.
I hope it happens.
Yeah,
that'd be
Thank
so
you,
fucking
dude. Knock
awesome.
on wood.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
If
gonna
that
see-
happens,
Yeah, knock on
can
wood.
we get
Yeah.
you back for when we do that on the show?
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Oh, that would be.
Yeah.
But dude, even if I don't get it, I want to come back and talk
Okay.
about the fuckhead who did do it.
Yeah.
Sucker stole my job. But I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see Reitman tomorrow, and I'm going to at the Alamo in Manhattan. I'm going to the they're showing the preview cut of Ghostbusters. So when they were doing Afterlife, they found all this footage that was like on a cassette for 40 fucking years of alt cuts and
Ghosts
stuff
from the 80s?
Yeah, like a work print of the original Ghostbusters.
Like a kitchen sink edit.
Yes, with all alternate cuts and everything. And
I
it's
bet
being
that's
hosted
great.
by Jason Reitman. So I'm there front row and I'm like,
Hey, remember
talk
me?
to me. Yeah. So hopefully there's something, but I don't know.
If you're Sony, how do you not put that out like as a special thing? Because I'll buy like
Still
another
might.
copy of the
They
movie
still
for
might.
that,
They might
you
do
know?
a
Yeah.
test run and then see what people say. You know.
But you're a big Belushi fan. Like, was he,
Yeah.
other than you looking like him, was he always your guy?
Him and Murray. Always my guys. I was always a big Bill Murray guy. I was a big John
When you
Belushi
said
guy.
Murray, I was thinking of Impractical Jokers.
No.
Yeah.
No, not James Murray.
What year
No.
did he die?
Belushi 82.
82.
March
you
5th,
probably weren't even
1982.
born yet, right?
I was born 78. I'm going to be 45 years old.
All
this
right.
year. I'm an
All
old
right.
guy. I'm a
Not
very
much.
old guy,
Not
which is
that
also
much
weird. I'm
higher than us.
auditioning for a dude in his 20s. But a lot of people see me and they have
That's
no
bragging
fucking
rights.
clue. Yeah.
You could pass.
No, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
It's
that's
I have
bragging.
people who are like, what are you, like 32? I'm like, I'm going to be 45, man. I'm like
Back
an
then,
old
a
bastard.
20-year-old was smoking 20 packs a day. They looked 45.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you see that original cast, those guys are in their 20s, and you're like, look at these old
Yeah.
bastards.
Yeah.
Like they lived a hard life or something, man. I don't know, man. But yeah, I was always a big Bill Murray guy, always a big John Belushi guy, and then later in life finding out how much more Ramis had to do with everything behind the scene. Became a big
He's
Ramis
like the
guy.
quiet genius.
Yeah, but he had his hands in everything.
Mhm.
A lot of respect for Harold Ramis.
Including this Lampoon shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's one of the radio guys.
hmm And he was like kind of like really instrumental in a lot of the radio shit I saw behind the scenes.
Right.
Mhm.
And another John Landis.
Landis
Yeah.
is, he's
But
underrated
he's with
too.
the movies.
Harold Ramis wanted to direct Caddyshack, and they wouldn't let him because he was inexperienced. I'm sorry, Animal House.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let him. They wouldn't let him take it.
I think it worked out.
Yeah, I think it did too. It was good to get Landis's foot in the door.
Especially
too,
that
with
like
that crew.
Landis kind of knew what he was doing because he had made movies before. And I don't think that ends like the band sequence, the marching sequence. I don't think a first time director really could nail it like
Yeah,
that. You know?
I agree.
All right, but in the movie, Doug is taking LSD and he's kind of lost a step. Like he kind of can't keep up as much.
He's burnt out.
He's burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah. He worked too much. He had too much success.
Yeah,
he
bit off
partied
more he
too
could
much,
chew.
and now he has to take a break.
And
One thing we haven't talked about it,
Which-
but when they founded the magazine, they went to that guy Matt Simmons and they made a deal with him that
Yes.
after 5 years he would buy all of their shares in the magazine. So they had 25%, he had 75%, and when after the 5 years were up, he had to pay them, I think, like triple whatever the magazine was making, and the magazine became insanely successful. So there was a clock ticking where this guy was going to owe them millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Kenny's burnt out, and he goes to Rhode Island. I don't know who the people he's
No,
with.
Martha's Vineyard.
He goes
Martha's
to
Vineyard.
Martha's
He goes to
Vineyard.
Massachusetts.
He
excuse
visits
me.
2 people who he went to college with.
Yeah, there was college friend where he
Yeah.
met his wife.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They introduced him to the Alex, I think her name was his first
Yeah,
wife.
right,
Yeah.
And they kind of put him up for
Weeks.
a year.
A year. That
It's
was
an
a
entire
year. Wow,
year
I
he
didn't
was
realize
gone.
that. Oh my god. You know
Yeah.
what? I never really thought about
That's crazy.
that
Right.
time.
Year?
You know.
And he spent that year kind
Wow.
of just lounging out in their house and writing a novel.
do you know the
called
name of the novel?
Teenage Communist from Space.
Yep.
I need friends like that.
Right.
Let me live with you for a year and just sit around my balls hanging
Right.
out writing a book.
And all
Go
that
for it.
time, the magazine kept going
It's chaos.
and is being completely run by Beard, who apparently did a great job doing it.
Yeah, he
took-
hated it though.
He hated it,
Yeah.
but he took up right where Kenny left off, and the magazine did just fine without him.
Right.
That
Now-
was like the breaking of their relationship. That's
Right.
where that started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so eventually, when he did come back, the relationship had changed completely because he comes back in like big shit again,
Right.
and now everyone,
Like the king has returned.
And-
Welcome me back.
and everyone
Right.
there hates him now.
yeah, you abandoned us.
Right.
For a year. Not even
Mhm.
like a week.
Right.
I
2-week
do-
vacation? Sure.
A year. Yeah, that's why I didn't even
Year's
realize
crazy. Year's
that
crazy.
time. I do like when he comes back. He's like, "Hey, I left a Fanta here. Does
Mhm.
Anybody see like
Right.
half a grape Fanta?" like that's
Right.
what you come in and say. I was like, "The balls on
That's
this
funny.
guy." Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very funny. but everyone in that room doesn't want a fucking joke from you.
Right.
You know?
But you also see the contrast between Martha's Vineyard and The Office, where there's like a dynamite thing happening.
That
Yeah.
scene is
Oh,
really funny.
chaos.
That's so
You know?
fucking
When
wild.
you see like Henry suffering,
Uh-huh.
and Doug's just kind of like, I'm gonna write a novel.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Yeah.
Nice
Like,
break.
Yeah.
And the way they show that when he shows the novel to him is
Funny.
supposedly spot on.
That's
like,
yeah.
Really?
He came in, showing how the guy reads it for like 10 seconds, goes, "This is
He
shit,"
reads the whole thing.
and he just throws. Yeah, he read the whole thing.
He goes, "It
"This
sucks."
It sucks," and Kenny's just like, "Okay," throws it out.
He throws out the window in real
Right,
life.
he threw it out a window, and in the
Oh,
movie
wow.
just throws
Oh,
it out
shit.
in the garbage. But that's made me think. If he worked on this thing for a year, it was
Mhm.
like his passion project.
Well, he was on acid the whole
Right.
time.
Yeah, Beard described it as like just the ramblings of a fucked up guy.
Like, it's incomprehensible.
It's just nonsense. He doesn't give he takes it so well when he's gets dejected with that thing. But why does Caddyshack crush him so?
Because I think inherently he knew. You always know when something you make is shit,
Mm-hmm.
and you always know when like you were trying and you thought it was good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you made something and it's bad, I can speak from experience. It's
Mhm.
like that sucks. It's not what I wanted it to be.
Right.
But when you try and you actually care and you think it's good, it's fucking crushing when it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And honestly, Caddyshack was a fucking mess. And all that shit with like put the gopher in and everything.
Mhm.
That gopher through line did tie that movie together. Originally, that all was true. Like that first
Which
cut
was the studio.
a nightmare. Yeah, the studio stepping in was the best thing that could have happened for Caddyshack.
Do you know overseas they cut out 20 minutes of non-gopher shit? So it's more gopher oriented to like to make it pop more. They made Bill Murray the focus more by like
Yeah.
trimming
Uh-huh.
other shit.
The Asians love
Yeah.
gopher?
And supposedly like, it's still enjoyable.
Dalai
But I
Lama.
don't know.
I want to watch that cut.
Yeah, right?
The gopher cut.
The
Right.
gopher
Like-
cut. Release the
It-
gopher
the
cut.
whole thing's in black and white. And it's stark.
So in this,
Do you bleed?
there's
Release the gopher cut.
you get some brainstorming, and Doug tries to like chime in, And it's like, yeah,
they
we
don't
did
want
that
anything to do with
joke.
him.
We
So-
did that joke. Step out. you
Yeah,
know?
you're
They kick him out,
behind.
yeah.
They send him and the new guy away to go make this fucking yearbook
Project.
thing.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, do a project, and what they come up with is the high school yearbook,
Mm-hmm.
which ends up
Satire.
it ends up becoming the most successful thing. they
Yeah, it
ever
was
do.
like a slam dunk. And
Right.
and to be honest, like watching it again, I was like, you know what, man? I was like, I would love to track down a copy. That's the
Right.
like regular National Lampoon. I would like maybe like a compilation, like an anthology of the covers or something.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to read the fucking magazine.
Right.
But that yearbook, I actually do want to. I'm into that kind of weird, like you guys ever see the WFMU Halloween special?
No, I
No.
don't know what that is.
It's like, check it out if you get a chance. I think it's all on YouTube. I think it was done in the early 2010s. It's like a fake. It's all fake newscasts,
Mhm.
commercials, everything. But it's like a news program that's
Mhm.
like doing like a cable, not cable, like a regular like affiliate channel doing like their news on Halloween night in the 80s, and they
Sure.
do like all right, we're gonna go to the old murder house and
Yeah.
we're gonna track it down, and like all this crazy shit goes down, but it's done so fucking good. It's really WFMU Halloween special. It's
Kind of
amazing.
reminds me of when Jethro Tull put out the Thick as a Brick album. It came with a full newspaper
Really?
that's complete. It's an entire newspaper of just fake stories
That you
can
like,
read.
Yeah,
Love that
satire
shit.
stuff.
Did Walt do that? And tell him, see, they did like
Oh,
a fake magazine.
They put
yeah,
out
that's true.
TESD Beat,
Right.
which is
teen magazine.
a
Yeah.
full magazine.
really? That's
Yeah.
a
fucking
full
great.
magazine of like teen style stories, like
Teeny bopper stuff like
teeny-
Tiger Beat.
It's
Yeah.
Tiger Beat, but
Yeah.
TESD Beat. So it's
Yeah.
like, what does Jimmy the hair guy like? You know, it's like shit like that. Like
Right.
I'm in there. It's
Right.
like the 8 quotes from the AV Club,
Yeah.
facts about us. Yeah, it's
Right.
funny.
That's cool.
Oh, see, I love any kind of fake. I'm working on a book myself where there's this project I've been doing for a long time called Real Ghostbusters, REEL Ghostbusters, where I draw
Okay.
scenes from the movie, but in the style of the cartoon. But it's like if you see it, you think it's a still from the cartoon. I don't just do an illustration.
Right,
Like I
right.
age
The
it,
Real
I
Ghost was
blur
an
it
80s
out.
cartoon.
Yes.
Yeah.
I blur it out. Like it looks like it's straight up a screen capture from this cartoon. So it's
But
gonna
they're having sex.
but they're all Ray's getting it every which way. No, but,
I'm Slimer now.
but I will eventually. I've been doing this for a while. I'll eventually be putting it out as a book that was like, oh man, we found like this studio in Italy that closed down 40 years ago, and they were doing this production. Like, but then they ran out of money halfway through, and we found all that exists are stills.
That's cool.
That's good.
Yeah, and just this
Good.
whole fake thing about it, not even putting my name on it. It's
Yeah.
real
See
wild
what
shit.
happens.
Some Italian like fake name. You
Yeah.
know? Enzio Scaramucci.
Yeah.
They robbed you.
But yeah, I'll show you guys after somebody else.
That's
It's
cool.
wild
Definitely.
stuff. Yeah.
All right. So now the 5-year contract is up, and they march into the office.
Yep.
And they demand their money.
And they get it.
They get
in
it.
the form
Yeah.
of checks.
After, some roughhousing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they start flipping out in
They
the
did
office.
They did have to strong arm them a little
Yeah,
bit.
in real
Oh,
life.
yeah?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But they still had a good working relationship after that.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's it's
Business.
Business, yeah.
Well, Beard quits on the spot.
The
Which is-
second he gets his
yeah,
money, which
that's
seems like
actually,
what
uh,
happened.
That's
That is,
what
yeah,
happened?
it seems like exactly what happened. Only he told everyone, "I hate all of you. Fuck you." And
Yeah.
then leaves.
In the movie, that's what he said.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's actually how he left?
Yeah.
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 Wow. Good for him.
He's a fucking legend.
Good for him.
Yeah, so they got
Yeah.
paid out several $million.
So it was 2.8 each.
yeah
So
for 3 guys
2.8
between.
It was 7 million total.
Yeah.
2.8 million each.
And
And this is in 1975
That's what I was
money.
about to
Right.
say.
What about
It's-
Hoffman? Did he get paid?
Yeah,
too?
yeah.
Yeah, the 3
Oh,
founders
right.
all
the
got
3
paid.
guys got
That's
paid.
like
I want to
paid
know what the
7
fuck
million.
Hoffman was
Yeah.
doing all
Right.
this time.
Yeah,
like-
what is his role in all this?
He
It's
just
a
brings it to
mystery
the
us.
table and is like, "My work here is done. I'll see you in 5 years."
He gave him the dog gun.
Yeah.
For the cover. Like, here you go.
I'll bring stationery once a week.
Yeah.
You're the Hoffman.
I'm the Hoffman.
Fucking useless guy. He's just there. The listeners hate me, by the way.
No one hates you, Brian. You just keep fucking up.
All right. So PJ O'Rourke, who did the thing, he takes over the
Teach
magazine.
him how to tie his fucking shoes.
Brian talks to his notebook.
Yeah, so Doug kind of like almost falls to like a weird depression here.
Well,
'cause,
no,
like,
he meets Emmy Rossum.
right before that, yeah.
Yeah. And then he goes home.
It was a pleasure, by the way. I met her before.
Yeah. Oh, you met her?
Yeah, when I worked in California.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's a doll.
Me and M.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
So I like this scene where they go to his dad and they bring goats to mow the lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very funny.
He's fucking with his parents.
And what's his face? Joel McHale is there as Chevy Chase.
Well, Chevy and Doug Kenney become like best pals.
Yeah.
They were best friends in
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
Which I guess they're both kind of assholes, so
Right.
it works.
Yeah.
Did a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, a lot of
A lot
cocaine.
of
Yep.
coke.
So, and then Chevy Chase like is insulted that they like said something to Doug, so he decides to do a Chevy Chase bit on their
Right.
Mhm.
Bar.
Yeah, a
on their
little wet
bar,
bar.
yeah,
Yeah.
knock things over.
What is it? His dad's not proud of him. His dad's like, why
Right.
should I be proud of this? You're doing like smut.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
Yeah.
Doug is clearly affected by it.
His
looks
father
sad.
kind of looks at the whole thing as ill-gotten gains. Like it's
Yeah.
Right.
you're rich and everything, but it's like it's bullshit.
What do you actually have?
Right.
Hanging out with Chevy Chase.
Right.
Come on.
And Chevy's like, all right, I'm gonna fucking destroy a bar. Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't be proud of my kid either.
So now this
Yeah.
this is so this is what happens in real life. NBC approaches Marty Simmons to Matt Simmons to do a National Lampoon's
TV
TV
show
show.
on Saturday nights.
and he's like, we're already stretched too thin. We
Yeah.
can't do it.
bad move.
Which has to be one of the dumbest
Bad move.
decisions in history,
one of the
right?
worst,
Yeah.
one of the worst
Yeah.
business decisions
Yeah,
ever. It ruined him
Even if you're stretched
Yeah.
too thin. Just
Yeah.
fucking, what are you
it
doing?
did ruin him.
because they rob him.
Yeah, exactly.
They takes all their talent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Well, they all needed to be on TV. They're all the
I'm
best
going to
comedians in
take
Yeah,
the
you
all
got
the
the evil
talent.
genius of Lorne Michaels come.
Yeah. You're going to work for me.
But Lorne,
in comedy.
but Lorne gives him
This is funny.
a chance, and he says no. He's like, why
No,
don't you join?
not
No.
Kenny.
No, he went to Matt Simmons, the head muckety muck guy.
No, I know that. I meant later on.
Oh well,
Oh, he tells you. Yeah,
that was like, all right, you're gonna be my employee.
Yeah.
I'm Lorne Michaels.
I'm your boss.
Yeah,
It's like I'm the boss here. I'm not
Yeah.
coming and working for you, dickhead.
right,
I would have done exactly what Kenny did. Get
Yeah.
the fuck out of here.
right.
And
Yeah, I mean, he made
I
the right
would've-
in
You
hindsight.
gotta remember, it's not SNL yet. It's new SNL
Right, I know,
that nobody
I know,
knows
I
what the
know.
fuck it
Well,
is.
listen, they weren't pandering for laughs.
They were doing something really revolutionary.
This is, I have to shout out what we're quoting
Yeah.
because
Alright.
Joe Kappa
Yeah,
cartoons.
There's
are
an
fantastic.
animation guy called Joe Kappa, and
Yeah.
he made a video, like a little sketch, of the
So ridiculous.
cast of Jurassic Park talking
In the
about
movie.
70s SNL,
really.
and it's fucking hysterical.
All right, I gotta see
It's
this.
so good. I'll show it to you after.
CAPPA?
Yeah, I'll show it to you after.
I don't like it as much.
You
as
were quoting
We
it.
love it.
but I dropped in the line to get a laugh
did.
from him
yeah,
before.
yeah.
So yeah. All right. So now we meet the SNL cast, and Michael O'Donoghue says his famous quote, "I don't write for Felt."
I love that.
Because,
Yeah.
season 1 of SNL had the Muppets.
right? Yeah.
They all hate it. Apparently, Belushi, everybody
the Muppets were terrible,
hated it. Yeah,
Oh,
it made no sense
Yeah.
to have the fucking Muppets.
right? And they're just
involved in
dancing around.
Yeah, what is the point of the Muppets on SNL?
that. I think it's just that weird counterculture
Yeah.
shit.
It's,
like,
it's Jim
yeah.
Henson was probably like a hot young guy, and it's just like he comes out and let's get him.
Yeah, I think they were really just like throwing everything and saw what's like having like Andy Kaufman get up there and do
Right,
Andy
Mighty
stuff
Mouse.
and
Right,
stuff. Yeah, like Which I love that stuff. Truthfully, like I think it kind of worked for SNL, but there's stuff they threw in there. That didn't
I think
fucking work.
on the first episode of SNL, like George Carlin does like a half hour.
Yeah, he didn't
of
host. He just
stand-up.
did stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Did he
just like-
really?
Yeah.
So they really had no clue what this was going to
It
be.
was
like a
whatever.
variety
It's a
show.
bunch of guys
Yeah.
smoking pot, doing whatever the fuck they come up with.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
The Wolverine sketch is funny. That first sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Doug Kenney denies the offer, and in real life, apparently, Maddie Simmons had told Kenny that he could get a movie done.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
in the movie,
Well, he doesn't want to lose Doug Kenney because he
Yes.
knows how talented he is. So he's like, I got to keep this guy on board. He just was like, let's make a movie. And that movie turned into Animal House. They go out to California and write it.
with Chris Miller,
Yeah.
and because he had a bunch of college stories, and they get Ivan Reitman on board.
Wait, did you ever hear any of those Chris Miller stories?
I actually haven't.
There's this weird thing they would do, and I'm glad they left that Animal House. They were like obsessed with vomiting. They would eat all these different types of foods to create different vomits, and like
Oh my
it was like a
God.
cult of yeah, like that was a big part of their. Like, I don't know. They would just
Why?
go around campus and vomit all over the place, like that. I'm like, what the fuck is
Fucking
that?
weird.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's
that's
funny.
But I could see it
Do you
being funny to
remember-
try to get like a specific
what you're gonna
color.
bring up.
Do you remember
It's
when
funny,
you
like,
went to
once,
you went
but
to
like that's your
something?
thing. You're the puke
Yeah,
guy.
like I'm gonna puke
ugh.
purple today,
Yeah.
just full of, like, and see people's reaction.
Yeah.
I know what you're gonna bring up. Bring it
You
up.
went to something and you ran into Michael Moore,
Yes.
and I told you that you have to make yourself vomit on him. It would be the funniest thing you ever do.
So I will.
He was sitting behind him.
I was sitting behind him. I was at. So my uncle was an actor. He was in
Barfing for Columbine.
he was in what's it called? Beastmaster. He's in Sleepers as a judge. He has like his IMDb is really long, just like a bunch of character roles. And he knew that I wanted to be a filmmaker and I was into it. And he's like, because I'm in the academy, I got tickets to the Student Academy Awards. Come with me to Manhattan. I was like, okay.
What
So
a missed opportunity.
so me and my great uncle are
He would
there.
have been famous.
Yeah.
He would have been famous.
Me and my great uncle are there, and we're watching all these movies, and then there's a break before we go back in. Michael Moore is sitting directly in front of me. Like I could have punched him in the head.
You should have.
Yeah.
And we were talking, I was texting him, and he's like, you should just vomit all over him.
Yeah,
You
make
should've.
yourself vomit. We'd have our own studio made of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a missed
Two
opportunity.
pictures of me vomiting on Michael Moore.
Hey, it's the vomit guy.
Yeah. I don't know if you want it. I'm the pee guy.
I know, you peed on Sal.
I said Pete on South Volcano on the Practical Jokers, and every fucking where I go, somebody's like, "Oh, it's the pee guy." Like it's gonna be on my tombstone, the fucking pee guy. Yeah,
So
like,
you think I made the right move?
yeah. You don't want to be the puke guy at Stop and Shop, 3 in the afternoon.
So funny.
That was literally what I said to you when we met. I was like, did you pee on Sal?
Yeah, motherfucker. See, I fucking get it up. God damn it.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Not everyone gets to pee on their. Is he your boss?
One of them. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He gets to tell, he gets to pick the artwork as well. But weirdly enough, really quick about that, I didn't know. Like, so when they did it, they put a towel around us. I thought I was literally just gonna pull my dick out and piss on them. So I was prepared for it. And I was contemplating eating a Viagra just to be extra weird and have a hard on. Just to
that would've been
freak,
great.
just to fuck with him. I was ridiculously drunk though. I drank like 11 beers, and like it only.
Were you holding your piss like all day?
Yes, and I
Oh,
actually
man.
was like going to explode. And Joe Gatto, when he was on the show, was like, I had to tell him, I was like, Joey, I gotta piss right now. He's like, all right, we'll get you out there. And then that's like. Kind of moved along that
Get you out there.
Yeah, get him out here. He's got a full tank. Yeah, so they. Yes, but I'm the piss guy.
I'm the cherry pie guy.
Oh God. Janie Lane.
So they're given in the movie. It says a $2 million budget. In reality, it was a $3 million
Well,
budget.
I think they said it's a minimum gonna cost them $2 million, and they say yeah. I
Yeah.
believe it's not like, oh, here's 2 million.
Which
It's-
even then is no money.
That's
They were
nothing.
nothing.
Right.
Yeah,
they were
nothing.
talking to, I think was it the producer or somebody? I don't know who they were talking to. I think it was the producer, where he was like, yeah, this is going to cost a minimum of 2 million. And they're like, okay.
Yeah, what's the play? Joe, like Troglio.
Who? Well,
What
what?
plays the producer?
Yeah, from fucking Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah,
Oh,
Wet Hot American Summer's in that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
another state guy. Yeah,
Right.
okay. I know the guy you're talking about. Fuck, what's his name?
Joe-
Jackie Tan? No.
No.
Fuck.
But he was the producer, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he played the
Yeah.
producer in the movie.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
No, it's fine. But
Oh, Jolo Truligia, right?
Yeah.
Brad Zotti.
Mhm.
Brad Zotti. That's who
That
he
was his
played.
name, Brad.
So
Good
it
old Brad
actually
Zaddy.
cost him 3 million.
Baked
Yeah.
ziti.
So you watched Animal House last night.
Yes.
What did you think? Did you love it?
Look, it's like that's one of those movies where obviously I saw it a million times as a kid. We used to watch it on DVD all the time, Steve. But I hadn't seen it in a while, and it's like something that I feel like I know every beat of.
Mhm.
And it's funny because recently this year I got into a lot of like 80s teen sex comedies, but like
Which
real
are just trying to replicate Animal.
which are just ripoffs of Animal House.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they're all
yeah.
kind of meandering plots that are loosely held together.
Animal House invented a genre.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. All that shit. Pinball Summer, all this junk that I
Right
was
up
watching.
to American Pie and fucking
100%.
modern day shit.
You ever see
But-
Joysticks?
But American Pie is such a step
Joysticks
up.
is one that I didn't see.
Oh, watch it.
It's
It's
I watched
insane.
it's
Screwballs
so
though.
awful. Okay, Screwballs. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I've been watching all that shit like
Mhm.
this whole summer. So
What was first, Animal House or the one with
Porky's?
Sean Penn?
Fast Times?
Fast Times original.
Oh, Animal House.
Animal House.
House, right.
Fast Time's probably like 82.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I know Animal House so well that it's really not gonna catch me off guard and make me like laugh out loud at this point, you know?
Yeah.
But I definitely enjoyed it. It wasn't bad. It's better made than so many of its like
Yeah,
imitators.
right.
Of course.
The last sequence, the whole marching band shit is legitimately fucking great.
Yeah.
Like it's filmed
Yeah.
well. It's like really compelling. Like that was the shit that I really didn't remember as well.
It's cool having Doug Kenney actually
Yeah, leading.
being that
Yes.
dude. Yeah, playing Stork. I
Right.
love that.
The thing that the movie probably most suffers from is that it doesn't have like almost a winning protagonist thing. You know, there's not like
Well, it's all of them.
it's all of them, but it's not like they're after X thing throughout the whole thing. You know, they're
They're trying to get back at the other.
their end.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
end.
There's
It's
no
like
MacGuffin.
they're kind of just living life.
Mhm.
And then at the end, it's like, let's just fuck up their day.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
when that becomes the most enjoyable part of the movie.
Because they finally have a goal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like meandering partying, which like I'm very familiar with.
right.
But that last part where they actually have a goal is fucking great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But like this funny shit, like the boner joke, I didn't get it when I saw it as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, with Belushi
Pushing off the ladder.
on the
yeah.
ladder.
You saw this as a small child, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually I have two. Well, not small. I have a 12-year-old and a 13-year-old, two boys. We watched Animal House probably like 3 years ago. Yeah, so around like 9, 10, I showed
loved
them
it?
Animal House. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There's no censorship in my house, by the
No.
way.
Great.
That's
Yeah.
the way to be.
Yeah.
We're at, yesterday was the 45th anniversary of Animal House.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was on- yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
shit.
so it's timely. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna do this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're right on time.
Maybe I'll, maybe I'll watch it tonight.
Yeah.
Watch it.
And now
Yeah.
this episode will come out in like a month.
Well, we can maneuver it. if needed.
Yeah. So Animal House, giant success. Everybody loves it.
They party.
They make a lot of money.
Biggest comedy in the country at
Right.
that time.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
Huge game changer.
Changes everything.
It's in the Library of Congress now.
Is it?
Yeah, for being like culturally significant.
Totally is.
Yeah.
Deserves all
Sure.
that.
Cannot be denied.
Yeah.
I mean, Belushi becomes a massive star.
Well, I was gonna say so 78. Belushi at the time
Which seals his fate.
is on. Yeah, really. All those fucking even Kenny, like it's cocaine, man. It's a hell of a drug.
Mhm.
Fucking 1978. You have John Belushi's.
They're all
30
young
years
as fuck.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's on the #1 show in the country. He's in the #1 movie in the country, and he has the #1 album in the country. That Briefcase Full of Blues album was the
Mhm.
#1 album.
Right. And we didn't talk about
Like,
it before, but he was doing like the
That's
Lemmings thing for Lampoon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which was like a parody of Woodstock.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That he was like the mastermind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great in it
Yeah.
too. Like in the documentary we watched, they showed some clips.
When he's rolling on the ground.
Yeah.
Hysterical.
It's fucking great. He is legit fantastic.
Yeah.
Like,
Physical comedy, like brilliance.
yes.
Yeah.
Farley was probably the last guy of like that shape.
Farley was just doing him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I mean.
yeah.
He's the second coming, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like his performance, like the guy actually was so talented. Like he could
Mhm.
sing, he could play music, he's fucking funny.
Mhm.
You know, if he didn't die, I bet he would have taken on dramatic roles
He would have been like
like Bill Murray.
Robin Williams.
Exactly.
Bill Murray.
Well,
Yeah.
he legit
Sure,
he was supposed to play Peter Venkman in Ghostbusters.
That's
He
right.
literally would have could have had Bill Murray's trajectory.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you imagine someone doing a better job than Murray though?
No,
at
but
that?
it would have made my whole cosplay game because I have a full jumpsuit and pack. I would have sent me really over the edge.
Peter Venkman may be the most charismatic character ever created.
my favorite movie character.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
They hate this.
Every scene with him is
Yeah.
just fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as they're filming Animal House, Belushi is doing, I believe, the second season of SNL, and he's filming the movie Monday through Thursday, flying back for SNL. No, sorry, Monday through Wednesday filming, flying back for rehearsal on SNL, performing and doing that for like
Mhm.
3 months or something.
Right.
So
That's vicious.
they filmed the movie up in Eugene, Oregon.
Okay.
And the reason they got it was because the dean of the college was previously at another school, and he declined the offer to have a movie filmed there, and the movie blew up and became like a cultural thing. And he's like, I'm not making that mistake
it was,
again.
The Graduate. I
The
think.
Graduate,
Yeah,
yes, that's what it
yeah,
was.
Dustin Hoffman. Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not making that mistake again, which is how Animal House got to be made there.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah. But now they're all kind of partying. Chevy Chase is just giving blow.
Yeah. Well,
They moved to LA.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. He
Kenny
wants
quits the
Catherine.
magazine.
Yeah,
He- he-
Nat Lampoon.
but he's still like associated with it.
Yeah.
Caddyshack is not a Lampoon movie,
No,
but it's Kenny,
it's Kenny.
so it's a Lampoon movie. The magazine would go on like this is when John Hughes came in and shit.
Yup.
And now it's that era where Vacation and all like it's still so fucking huge, all through the 80s.
The brand is still
strong.
good,
Yeah.
Yes.
you know?
And they ended up getting like all the new young guys that would come in ended up going on to like create The Simpsons and
Yup.
fucking Family Guy. And
It was
things
actually
like that.
talented people.
Extremely
Yeah.
talented.
It was a
people.
lot. You know, John Hughes was a Lampoon writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. Hughes was massive. He wrote in the magazine,
He wrote
Just-
Vacation 58.
54, I
which-
thought.
54.
something,
Yeah. And that turned into the first Vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen the first Vacation.
I don't know what's wrong
Oh,
with
wow.
you. I don't know how you
That's
did
the
that.
only one I haven't seen.
Oh, it's great.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It's great.
All the vacation.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll watch that tonight.
Well, Europeans.
I like it.
Yeah.
Audrey Eaton.
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah. She's
There's
having
some-
the nightmares. Just
There
eating
is
all
one
that
scene that I bring up all the time
It's Vegas. Vegas is the one.
in Euro Vacation where they all
The
are
hats?
trying on different outfits.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the worst scene in any movie ever. New
Yeah.
looks.
Yeah. Yes. Brazen. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That is pretty right.
Vegas is the one.
I love
That's
Vegas
That's the
Vacation.
one I like the most.
I gotta go with Christmas just because it's just the
Yes.
one like I would see 8 billion
Yeah.
times.
Right.
It's
I
just
love Christmas.
Yeah.
ingrained in my brain.
Mhm.
So the last original National Lampoon's movie before they started licensing the name,
Mhm.
when they actually had quality control, was actually Christmas Vacation.
That
Really?
That makes
Oh, okay.
sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So Vegas Vacation, I believe,
Yeah, it
was actually
wasn't a
another
national.
company.
Yeah, it wasn't National Lampoon. That's why it's just called Vegas Vacation. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's no.
Oh,
National
really?
Lampoons.
Yeah.
I never
Yeah,
realized.
Yeah.
Was Home Alone? No.
No,
No,
that's
no.
just John.
That's just
Hughes.
John Landis.
John Hughes.
Hughes. John
Yeah.
Hughes.
After he left National
Right.
Lampoon, he started doing like planes,
Yeah.
trains, and automobiles and stuff.
Oh, the
I-
Bueller,
yeah, I
all that,
feel-
like
Oh yeah, Ferris
Shermer,
Bueller.
Illinois
Right,
stuff.
Yeah.
so
the
much.
comedy-
They just
yeah.
They ran comedy.
Smash.
Well, the
Shit.
comedy world kind of it all spawns from things, right?
Right.
So it's like when you think of like modern guys, it's like it's all the Apatow crowd that took over
Yeah.
comedy
Sure,
and
yeah.
killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ran it off a
Yeah.
cliff.
Yeah.
yeah. But no, these guys had their movie. There's actually a great book. I forgot who wrote it. Shit. But it's called Wild and Crazy Guys, and it's about that whole. And they mention Kenny, but it's all. It's cool because each chapter is kind of about a different. So one chapter will be about Eddie Murphy. One will be about Bill Murray.
Right.
One will be about fucking Harold Ramis, and then it starts getting into how they converge.
Right.
And there's all that nexus point where they all just kind of
Create
team up.
the
and
biggest
it's-
stuff.
Yeah,
ever.
yeah.
So did you ever hear John Landis's son? He pitched.
Oh,
yeah, but well, I know.
yeah.
But did you ever hear what
Who's
his
son?
Max Landis?
He's a
Oh.
douchebag, like a real
Okay.
gross
But
guy.
did you ever hear what his pitch was for Ghostbusters before?
Oh,
So before I think 2016 or right after, it's somewhere around there. His thing was like, where does the story go? And like it was all like the Ghostbusters were licensed out and stuff. So like after the events of the
Also, like a Ghostbusters 3.
it would have been Ghostbusters 3, right?
Okay.
So it was after the events of the other one where like the Statue of Liberty walks through New York.
Right.
It had been franchised throughout the country and there were Ghostbusters in every city. Right?
Okay.
And basically, long story short, at the end of the movie, this big thing happens and like a distress call went out and every Ghostbuster starts showing up from all over the country.
And it Cameo Central.
It's
Oh, yeah.
every
Oh,
it's
yeah.
every
Oh.
comedy troupe basically ever. So it's like
right.
Paul Rudd and these guys and like basically a who's who of comedy
That's what
shows
they
up.
say.
It's Anchorman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking
It's Anchorman.
Anchorman.
Yeah.
Anchorman 2, especially.
I
Right.
definitely would have preferred that to what we got though.
yeah.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Do you like Ghostbusters 2?
I actually do.
I
So
love
do
it.
I.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
He
it's
is
not as good
Eagle.
as- yeah.
That he's the best part of the movie.
Yes, it's not as good as the first,
Janusz.
but
Yes.
it's. I love the first two Ghostbusters.
I never got the people that just hate it. Like it's
Neither
fine.
did I.
Like,
I don't. There's like a weird certain person that hates Ghostbusters 2 and Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom, and I don't understand those
right.
people.
Yes.
I
don't.
love Temple.
I love that. It's my favorite fucking indie movie.
Is Temple your favorite?
Temple's my favorite.
I
indie.
really respect
You're the
that.
weirdo
Yeah.
though. That's a weird take
Why?
because nobody thinks that.
Well, but it's the most like crazy adventure-y,
yes, it
like
is.
it to me that encapsulates Indiana Jones completely.
Mm-hmm.
That movie. I don't know why. Just like that character is that movie.
Anything goes.
I love that open.
Oh, that Busby Berkeley
Yeah.
style musical opening. Spielberg goes for
Yeah.
it. Man, Spielberg was he was firing on all cylinders at that time. To me, it was just like another, like talking about like these comedy guys coming together. That movie was the coming together of
film
like,
brats.
all these. Yeah. It just it worked. It worked. And Dan Aykroyd is in Temple of Doom, so that makes
Yeah,
me
he
happy
is.
Too.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
Al
that's
Weber.
right.
Yeah.
Being British.
Yes. Why?
definitely
We don't
underrated.
know. Yeah.
So in the movie, Doug Kenney is having this massive fucking party.
Yeah.
It's like
his girlfriend
typical,
comes on.
Success
you know.
party, I guess.
Yeah.
80s
Cocaine
cocaine fueled party.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
His girl shows up, and as she's yelling at him, he's like, "There are forces in the universe," and he just starts writing Caddyshack.
Mhm.
And then we cut to them making Caddyshack, and,
And you get the Rodney guy.
yes, who is doing the Rodney voice?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Check that guy out.
Yeah.
You only see him from a distance.
Yeah, you don't want to see that guy's face. But real quick, before we move super past it, I really like this transition. But when they go to California, where they're in a bar in Manhattan at night, and they're like, "All right, I'm going out to California," and they leave the bar, and it literally just turns into a Warner Brothers lot.
Right.
And they're
Yeah.
walking down it, and then he walks into an office, and it's the next scene. He's still wearing the same clothes. That
Yeah, it's cool.
I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that in this movie.
The
I don't
movie
know
has
why.
artistic
It just-
flourishes that are really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You know, like transitions. and
Right,
things
yeah,
like
I forgot.
that.
We forgot to say he went back and visited Beard again. They kind of rekindled their relationship. Or did we? Did we
No,
not get there yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
That's after Caddyshack.
Mhm.
I don't even know about recap. It was more like a
A catch up.
Yeah.
it was like running into an ex and you like
Right.
you talk and you don't hate each other.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
So they're all coked up as they're making
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack.
Yeah, Caddyshack
Yeah.
is just a coke-fueled nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bill Murray is there. Well, John Daly's doing Bill
He's
Murray.
hallucinating.
Doing an
Yeah.
amazing impression of Bill Murray.
yeah,
The voice, anyway.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole thing. He captured it, and I like that they showed like everybody's doing like apparently like Rodney Dangerfield's a huge blowhead, like all these dudes. And they didn't show Murray, and that made me happy because Murray was not a coke guy. He was
Right.
always a drinker, always a pot smoker, not a fucking
Okay,
coke guy.
I didn't know that.
He didn't
Which
run
is
in that
why
coke
he's
crowd.
still alive.
Yeah, and still has his integrity.
So in the documentary we watched, there's
So
a
right.
scene in Caddyshack where they're in like the club, and in the background, I think Doug Kenney is at like a table
Mhm.
and he's doing coke.
Yes.
in the
In the
shot.
movie?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's at the scene at the dinner where Rodney Dangerfield rips that far. Oh, so
Yeah.
sit on a duck like
yeah. In the background, Doug Kenney is doing coke on
Yes.
camera,
Yeah.
and they highlight in the movie. So it's a coked up mess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a first cut is 4 hours long, and the studio comes in and demands the Gophers in the movie.
Yeah. And,
And
he that drives him insane.
He attacks.
Right.
Yeah.
So that there's this moment where they have like, I don't know what it is, like the cast of the movie is on stage at Dangerfield's.
Oh yeah, they were there to
Yeah.
Well,
promote it.
that's after he sees Airplane.
That's a real
Yeah,
story
right.
too.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
really went down like that.
So he goes to see Airplane and it crushes him because he realizes this is the funniest movie ever.
Yeah.
And
can't
Caddyshack is going to be
compare.
up against this and it's just not as good.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong in my opinion. Airplane's fucking great.
Yeah.
I love Airplane.
Yeah.
I still favor Caddyshack, but Airplane is
Airplane or Naked Gun.
amazing. Fuck.
I was like,
Police Squad.
There's a
Police Squad.
Oh, the show.
The
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Well, you know the
I
show.
love the Naked Gun.
The show. I love the Naked Gun
Yeah.
too, but when you watch Police Squad, you appreciate that it's Frank Drebin is a straight character in Police Squad, and then you
Yeah.
jump over to Naked Gun, and he's a goofball.
But played completely
But
straight.
straight, yeah.
Yeah, but he's doing goof. If you,
Mhm.
it's two completely different. Frank
Where the hell
Drebins.
was I?
I've never seen Police Squad.
Oh, I
I've
recommend.
seen like
it.
moments. I've never watched like a
Okay.
full episode, but I've seen like
Interesting
clips of it.
Belushi thing with Police Squad. So every episode starts with like, and tonight's guest star, and that person is like just dead. Like at the beginning. The last one they had shot was Belushi, and he was
Oh.
face down in a pool, and they cut it out because he wound up dying before it aired. It was like a whole
Wow.
thing like that. Yeah. Like
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Too timely.
Yeah.
Is it too soon?
Yeah. All right. So he goes to New York and he meets Henry, and they kind of have a chat, and he's like,
Yeah.
"You'll be okay."
Well, Doug wants his help, and Henry's like, "No, I got stuff to do here. I can't go like work with you. You're a mess."
He's
Yeah.
like a family now, and
Yeah.
even like Doug's like, "Oh man, you're an adult. What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like,
So now we get the comedy club scene, and this
Yeah.
is real. Like in the documentary, they show all of them at Danger.
Yeah, they show it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on
Oh,
film.
really?
I love, yeah, Bill
Uh-huh.
Murray's
Yeah.
wearing that striped shirt.
Yeah.
there
What do you think
and,
of Stripes?
hungover. I love the first half of Stripes.
Okay, I really
Second
like
half-
Stripes.
I love Stripes. It's the first half is so much stronger than the second half. Like once they get out of boot camp, the movie's not as interesting. It definitely
Okay.
takes a dive. I'm not saying it gets bad, but it's not as good as the first half.
You don't like them like
It's like
going
the
on
Full
the
Metal
mission.
Jacket.
Mhm.
Okay.
Problem, you know what I mean? Yeah, the mission's just goofy. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But like boot camp, that and you got John Candy in the you know what I mean? Like
Uh-huh.
like Sergeant Hulka. Like boot camp is its own thing. Like I think they should have just focused on that and made 2 movies. To be honest,
Stripes 1 and 2.
Stripes and more Stripes.
Stripe harder.
You get a, is it like a Q&A almost?
It's a thing to promote the
it's some
movie.
kind of
Yeah.
thing to
It's like
and
a
he
press
shows up
junket.
at it and
Yes,
just fucking
yeah.
goes
Right.
nuts.
Yeah.
He's like, this shit sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
and his
hates it.
parents are there.
Yeah.
And his parents like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "What are you doing here?" They're like, "You asked us."
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, he's losing his mind.
Yeah,
He's
completely.
He's gone.
And Chevy Chase takes him out of there. He's like, let's go to Hawaii.
right.
Yeah,
but
well,
that's
that
a
was
safe
supposed to be
place.
rehab
Yeah.
or like a retreat almost.
It was
Yeah,
they
to get
wanted him to
clean.
cool him off.
Right.
But instead they just did drugs
Yeah,
and
'cause
hung out
it's
in
Doug
Hawaii.
Kenney and Chevy Chase hanging out
Yeah.
in Hawaii.
Right.
What are they gonna do?
How much did Joel McHale just love like doing kind of this Chevy Chase hit piece, right? Like,
Had to.
like
had
how
to have
often
been
do you
one of
get
his
to just
favorite
publicly
fucking
slander
things.
your
The
enemy?
guy you
Yeah.
hate. That's Donald and Rosie.
And
She's a fat pig.
like Catherine shows up and like he's just like, oh, like, Chevy must have left this a mess, a mess. And she's just like, he left yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's like he's hallucinating.
Oh, he's so like talking to. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
he
wild.
had-
yeah,
he
he's
had a
really
rag on his
crazy
head.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
He's all
crazy.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really off the deep
And he
end
doesn't
at that
want to
point.
leave. He's like,
Right.
this is a good place. Like it's paradise here.
And then he goes hiking.
And he goes hiking.
Yeah. So
It's-
Chevy
yeah.
Chase was actually planning on flying back
Oh yeah.
when
I
this
thought-
was happening. He was so
Oh, back to Hawaii.
he was going to go back to Hawaii to
Oh,
stay
okay.
with Doug.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And obviously he didn't get there because Doug fucking
Jump off
killed
the cliff,
himself.
yeah.
So some people
Nobody knows.
nobody knows.
Right.
Supposedly there's a sign that says
This is where
don't go beyond this point. And some
Yeah.
people think Doug
It
is
was
such
like,
a
"Fuck you,
shit
sign."
Exactly. He's such a
Yeah.
shit star. He's like, I'm not listening to this stupid
Right.
fucking sign. And then he falls off the cliff and dies.
Right.
The movie, I feel, makes you think he killed himself.
movie
Yeah.
100%
Well,
points to
there
suicide.
was
Because
there's
the
a lot
glasses
of
are
things-
left.
The
there.
glasses.
Yeah,
Well, there's
and
a
the
lot of
shoes.
things that were left out. Like he did actually take off the glasses and stuff, which people thought was weird. That's what made them think. But they left out. There was supposedly he wrote a note that said like I always loved you or something like that, or like I love you. Please don't hate me. It was something weird like that.
It was the last few days have been the best I ever ignored.
No, it was that.
Well,
but then
that
he
was
also
in the hotel.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he also wrote something about I love you and this and that, and then people don't know if that was towards his wife or to Chevy,
Oh God.
which is
Maybe.
really weird.
Maybe.
Yeah, check that. It's
But I know. So the thing that was against the suicide version of that is in the hotel room where he was in Hawaii. I don't know if it was a hotel or just whatever apartment. There was works there. He was working on new content and movies and stuff like that with Chase,
yeah.
as well as himself alone.
Yeah, there was a lot
So
of
why
ideas.
why would you just keep pumping out ideas if you're like,
I'm gonna
if
kill
you're
myself.
suicidal?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
I like
most
the-
suicidal things aren't like an instant. It usually takes a long.
Did you hear what Harold
progression,
Ramis said?
you know?
I love that. He really said that.
The line is he fell while looking for a good place to jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Harold Ramis is underrated as like so funny.
Dude.
Egon may be the funniest part of the movie of Ghostbusters.
It's so subtle his humor
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
There's stuff I didn't pick up on.
I'm
as a
afraid
kid.
beyond all recognition. What does he say? All
I'm
human
terrified beyond all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
terrified beyond all
I've lost the capacity for
rational
rational
thought.
thought.
Yeah.
So we have his funeral.
Yeah, I like this scene.
This kind of like
It's to cheer you up at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
I-
you watch kind of a comedy, and then at the end,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, as someone who didn't know the story, like I didn't know
Mhm.
when he jumped, I was like, wait a minute. Who the fuck is the old guy? And then it's like, oh, this is just me if I was older. And I was like, oh, that's
It's the final Gene Parmesan.
That's actually
Yeah.
it's actually brilliant. I was like, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, like they got me.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sitting there like, oh, he's not gonna
You
jump.
see why I told you to go in blind.
Yeah, it was a good move. It was a good move to do that. And they have like a food fight. You
Yeah.
know, which is like the quintessential we're being silly, mischievous people
Mhm.
back from the Harvard days.
Which
From
is
the
a-
Harvard days,
yeah, right.
Animal House. It's like
it's an Animal House reference.
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, totally made up. That never
Right.
actually happened.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the food fight. That's just
Yeah.
made up, just to kind of
Make you feel good.
Yeah,
Just to give
put
the
a little-
movie a little levity at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That way you don't walk away fucking wanting
Sad.
to end yourself.
yeah.
But yeah, that
it.
was it.
Yeah.
That was
So I wrote a
What the hell is the name of this movie again?
a futile
futile
and stupid gesture.
Thank
which is
you.
what he says at the end. This scene,
Right.
this moment requires a
Futile
and stupid gesture.
Which is an Animal House line.
Yes.
What part do they say it in Animal House?
That they want to destroy the
Okay,
parade.
yeah.
Yeah, the floats.
So this isn't covered in the movie, but National Lampoon later, after they do all their movies, they start licensing out the brand name.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, this is really what
This
caused
is in the
them-
late 80s.
late 80s. Well, 89 is the last one because that's Christmas
Mhm.
Vacation.
Right.
So in 90, they start licensing out the brand name where if you pay enough money, you can put National Lampoon on any shit you make.
Right.
Because of this, it starts to get watered down and there's no
Van
quality
Wilder.
of the brand.
Oh God.
Do you know Van Wilder
Wilder
is based on Bert Kreischer's life?
Yes.
I found this out like a
Really?
week ago.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Really?
there was an article. He had been in college like 9 years or something
Yeah.
about how he stayed in college to party.
He's the party guy.
And he originally was going to like star and like write and I think direct
Mhm.
like a version of that. And it fell through for whatever reason. He was just talking about
They
it.
took
on
his
something,
story and made
they
Van
took his
Wilder.
story and made Van Wilder. And he thought about suing. And some comedian told him, he's like, people who sue never make anything.
Mhm.
Just ignore it and it'll work out and you'll find your own way.
That's
And
great
I mean,
advice.
it worked.
Yeah.
It worked
It's
for him.
amazing
Yeah.
advice.
Yeah.
It worked for him.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You're just known
Yeah.
as the sue guy. You're not.
Because you
Yeah,
know
no
what?
one will
If,
take
if
you.
the news comes out that that's based on you and that movie's popular, you're now popular.
Yeah.
Which kind of
Which
worked.
is what happened.
Yeah.
Van Wilder,
Yeah.
I believe, was a pretty big.
Van
movie.
Wilder is
Look
a
at
hit.
the Kramer guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't have to lift a finger.
And the soup Nazi.
soup Nazi. He didn't have to lift a finger either.
They've made careers just, going and doing that.
The soup
Right.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But so the brand got licensed out and garbage has been made with the name
Can we-
since 1990.
Okay.
So I have a game where I'm going to give you a movie.
Uh-huh.
Each
Okay.
question is worth 2 points.
Okay. Points really matter. We're not
Well,
winning shit.
hold on.
I'm
If
excited.
I want $1.
I will give you the title of the movie.
Okay.
If you can guess whether it's real or fake without the synopsis, it's 2 points.
Uh-huh.
If you need the synopsis, it's 1
Uh-huh.
point.
So needless to say,
Okay.
the fake ones have been made up by you, Brian.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
How punny are these? You're
It's
the king
Brian.
of puns.
It's
So
Brian.
All
If
right.
there's a pun,
If it's too
it ain't
punny,
real.
Who wants to go first?
I will go first.
You will go first. All right. I'm going to
Okay.
give you a layup first, Ant.
All right.
Layup.
National Lampoon's One Too Many. An alcoholic. Oh,
What are you doing?
sorry.
One Too Many. One Too Many is the Stuttering John movie.
You beat.
Was that National Lampoon?
Hmm.
I'm going to say no, it was not.
Wrong.
Oh.
It is National Lampoon's One Too Many.
No.
And that is the Stuttering John movie.
The
Yeah.
plot synopsis: an alcoholic man with too many girlfriends
Yep.
tries
Too
to
many
have
stutters.
tries to have a
Wow.
threesome.
That's kind of punny.
Complete vanity project.
For Stuttering John.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Do you?
Yeah,
all
I'll
right,
go.
all
I'll
right.
go.
National Lampoon's Bag Boy.
No, it's not real.
That is real.
No.
Are you just giving a list of only
on.
real shit?
A teenage boy enters the high stakes world of grocery bagging.
What? What?
Remember, I said garbage has been made. All right. Steve.
Yeah.
National Lampoon's Dog Days with a Z.
Come on, man. No.
DAZE.
No, it's not real.
It's fake.
Yeah.
Would you like my fake synopsis
Yeah,
for it?
Yeah,
yeah,
give me a
come
fake
on.
synopsis.
An owner's dog starts talking and he uses the dog to discover secrets to his own advantage. So I imagine he's like using the dog to like sniff through like a girl's panty drawer. You know?
Yeah.
And the
That's
dog
good,
talks
that's
to
good.
him.
I got 2 points.
Yeah, Steve is winning currently.
Okay.
All right. Ant, you're up.
Mhm.
Dog days. Fucking Christ. With the Z. If you didn't say with the Z.
National Lampoon's The Don's Analyst.
This is fake.
This is real.
No.
The sons of a mob boss kidnap a shrink to heal their father's broken mind.
No.
So it's analyzed this.
Yes. Actually, 2 years before that.
Wow.
Directed by Ramis, who
Right.
fucking worked for National Lampoon. They're just stealing from themselves. Wow. Miserable. All right. I'm up.
All right.
Let's do it.
Remember, you can ask for a synopsis. All right.
No, we just do it the way we would do it.
Well, no, it's
I like
you
the
have the point
synopsis,
option. National Lampoon's Pucked.
That's real.
That's real.
Yeah.
Dude,
What's the
it's on the board.
synopsis?
After Frank, played by John Bon Jovi, gets a credit card, he decides to fulfill his dream of running a women's hockey team.
That's his dream.
Wait, I
In
didn't
the
even know
movie.
Bon Jovi was in a movie.
Yeah,
He's in U571.
What's that? I don't know.
That's about the
Submarine.
submarine stealing the Enigma device from the Nazis.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right,
All right.
ready?
Yeah, I guess.
National Lampoon's Robo-Doc.
Robo-Doc.
Why would the doctor need to be a robot?
Robo-Doc.
Give me a synopsis.
A movie about a robot doctor.
I don't think it's real.
It's real.
Oh god.
All right. Are you ready, Ed?
Yes.
National Lampoon's Pool Boy.
That's real.
No.
What? That sounds like the most real out of
Give me the
all.
hardest
A
one.
teenage boy tends to pools and the MILFs that own them.
I want Robo Pool Boy.
Oh
All right.
my god.
Ready?
Yeah, hit me.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 3. Ruby Sue Returns.
No, they
shit.
only did the two. They did the Randy Quaid one, and no.
Final answer?
Fuck. You're looking at me like it happened, but yeah, I won't change it. I won't be a dick. I said no.
You are correct.
Oh!
But it seems like it's something they could have
There's
done.
a 2?
Yes, it's Eddie's Island Adventure. Well,
Yes.
hold on. I'll give you the synopsis.
Yes.
After missing from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2, Cousin Eddie's Island Adventure, Ruby Sue returns with her new husband for Christmas.
Who's Ruby Sue?
The little girl.
The one that got
Isn't that Vicky? Isn't that cousin Vicky?
No, isn't Ruby Sue the little girl?
Yeah, Vicky's from Vegas Vacation.
Yeah.
She's the one. Was it? She had crossed eyes, got kicked by a mule, something like that.
Oh
All
my
right.
god.
Uh,
Okay,
Steve's
here
up,
we go.
right?
Yeah.
National Lampoon's Space Party.
Oh man.
That's real.
It's fake.
Fuck.
In the year 3000, we're living in space, and so are college parties.
You know what? Out of all the ones you said, that sounds feasible.
Oh, by the way, can you use AI to generate like posters for all these fake ones?
Maybe. We'll see. That might be tough.
All right. Who's up?
Oh, yeah.
Anthony?
Anthony.
All right.
I haven't gotten one right yet.
All right.
He's in the lead. He's got 4.
Let me see. I just want
I
to
got
make
2.
sure. Okay. National Lampoon's Endless Bummer.
Fake.
It's real. A surfer and his young teen friends take a road trip to find a stolen surfboard.
Oh god.
It's like Apocalypse Now, but retarded. Lance, give me back my board, Lance.
You're up.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
up.
More than I like it.
All right. National Lampoon's Snatched.
Real.
That is real.
Oh!
A sportscaster accidentally has his penis and testicles removed during surgery.
What?
How do you botch that?
By the way, so I was like, when I heard,
You gotta watch
when I
that.
read that synopsis, I was like, I have to see this
Yeah.
trailer.
Yeah.
You can't find the trailer for some of these online because it's so shitty. Snatched, I went to watch the trailer on Amazon Prime, and it just played the first maybe like minute 30 seconds of the movie. It looks like we went outside and shot it in the parking lot. It is unbelievable how bad it looks.
Did his dick and balls get snatched, or were they replaced with a snatch?
I'm gonna
what's
bet. I'm
the-
gonna bet he gets a snatch.
I don't know because I couldn't find the trailer.
We gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Oh
We
fuck!
gotta
Yeah, I
find
got
it. We
it.
have
Yeah.
to.
Do you know who was in it? Who played the snatchy?
No one. Joe
Yeah,
Joe
that's-
McClintock.
It was made with a cell phone. Like, if we put Lampoon on it, we might make money. Let's do it. Oh my gosh.
Snatched.
Could this be the last one?
Frank Baum, Ernest Borgnine.
Yo! Escape from New
He's
York,
the
so-
doctor.
He plays the main character's father.
Oh, all right.
Oh, poor Ernest.
Jesus.
He really fell off near the
That's
end of his
probably
life.
like his last
It's
film role.
such a
Yeah.
long way from the Poseidon Adventure.
Jesus.
Didn't he win an Oscar for Morty?
You know, he was on Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh my
Yeah.
A lot.
All right.
Jesus.
Who's up?
Me.
You. Okay. National Lampoon's Room to Grow.
Give me the synopsis.
A young man inherits his grandfather's farm and decides to grow marijuana.
It's a pun. It's a
It's a
pun.
Jim Belushi movie.
It
It's
is
a
a
pun.
pun, but he hasn't brought up any pot things yet, and I wouldn't be surprised if it being real.
It's a pun. It's Brian.
I know it's a pun. Look at his face. Look at his face. Room to grow.
Yeah. A farmer.
Farmer, yeah. I'm gonna say it's fake.
It's fake. All
Yeah.
right. This is the last one.
All right.
This is for you, Ant.
Yeah.
We started with him.
National. Oh, who's up?
No, we
Oh,
started.
well,
with
this
him.
one was a bonus in case it was tied.
All right, give it an ant. Give it an ant.
All right.
He,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
go for
it. I gotta
see if
get
you-
one.
let's
I gotta
see-
get one.
Let's see if you can get National Lampoon's After School Special.
Can I hear the synopsis, please?
3 high school students start filming a pornographic movie after school.
Oh.
It's fake.
It's real.
What? How did you think that was fake? How did you think that was fake? That sounds so real.
It wasn't punny enough for
After
me.
school
Yeah.
special. They film porn after school.
But why would someone make a movie about high schoolers doing porn? You know?
It's National Lampoons, man.
Yeah.
Classic Hollywood.
Yeah, the litany of shit I found while researching this game is mind-boggling.
Yeah. I think it all depends on what year it was made, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not,
So,
not making
yeah.
it now.
We
Like
got
Animal House was supposed to be a high school movie, but they changed it to college because there was too much sex in it. And now they're doing an after school special. You know?
So we have 2 more things we got to do.
Yep.
Do you want to? We can do the picture first.
Yeah, we
you
can
want
do
to
the
rate?
picture first. So every episode, I do a sketch of what the movie is,
Yeah.
and people see if they can guess what it is. This one I think is pretty obvious.
This?
Yeah.
sketch
what
right-
is
yeah,
that?
It's the dog with the gun news head, the National
Yes.
Lampoon cover.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Here, what do you guys think of it? It's probably my best work.
Okay. Yes.
I mean, it looks more like a cock
Very good.
put up to a dog's
Yeah,
head,
yeah,
but
yeah. That I could tell what it
Most
is,
of
but
the things I draw come out looking like a cock.
You know what?
I have an advantage that I have children.
Actually, it kind of looks
Okay.
like shadow puppets.
Shadow.
There's some
puppet.
shadow puppets happening.
it looks like you tried spelling like motion Compton but couldn't do it.
Yo, how is it that the worst part of this is you just writing
You're
a
just
word?
writing a word.
My
Yeah.
handwriting's atrocious, and I'm fitting into a little box.
All right.
Yeah. All right, and now it's time to rate the movie. So what do you rate it, Steve?
So
Out of 10.
I didn't give it too high. I kind of went mid. I went about 6
Okay.
because I think it was weird at times. Like I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be serious or comedy. Then it led into comedy, and then I was like, it was enjoyable, but I think it could have been better. Like there's certain, like I said, but that part where I wanted like something serious, it really wasn't there. I think the acting wasn't the best either. It seems like it was fairly accurate though. So
It's pretty accurate.
yeah, like I
As we
kinda-
know.
as far as we
Yeah.
know, yeah,
Yeah.
sure, yeah. How about you?
I like the movie. I thought it was quite enjoyable. I like the fact that it's the first movie we've watched in like months that isn't 3 hours long. That's a
That
plus.
was nice. That was nice.
Everybody's fine. Everybody's like good. It's a fun movie, but you know, it's not like this lofty thing. It's hard to like. We always have to end up comparing it to other stuff we've done, and it's hard to rank it compared to something like fucking.
You have to compare it to
Alexander.
like Driven, you know?
Right. It's
Sure.
better than Driven.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna give it a nice 7.5, 7.5, 8.
That's exactly where I am.
Yeah,
I'm 7.5.
Yeah.
That's
Solid. It's
respectable.
entertaining. This is my second time watching it. I would definitely watch it again in the future, which I think is the best compliment I could pay it. Like, it's an enjoyable movie.
Yeah.
You know? What about you?
I after rewatching, I give it an 8 because I
Okay.
did. I did enjoy it. And like I said, it hit me different the first time because I was like, why the fuck is there an older version of him? Because I had known the story. I was like,
Right.
this is so weird. And then at the end,
It's a good rug pull.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. But if I hadn't known the
It's
story,
for
if I went
people
in
who don't
blind,
know.
yeah.
Right.
And it makes sense. Like these guys made a career about, fucking with people. So they, in turn, this movie is going to fuck with you. And I wish I was in on that joke. I wasn't. So it hit me weird the first time watching it. And I enjoyed it a lot more the second time because I knew what I was getting. And I wasn't questioning it the whole time. Like, but why is he here? Why is he here? So, yeah, it's an 8 for me. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It gave me what I wanted. I think there's some really solid, conversational humor between,
Yeah.
especially,
It's good banter.
yeah, Doug and Henry. Like they're back and forth. It's fucking
Oh,
great,
it's
especially
great.
when they're on the phone and when he's on the phone with his mother. And Beard is saying what his mother's going. I was like, that's fucking good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's it's pretty solid for me.
It's worth the watch.
I totally agree. Definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to promote or plug? Bear in mind,
yeah.
this is not going to come out until. Sorry. I think September 6th.
First week of September, or is it the last week of August?
Well, let me see. Hold on. Pick, talk, 1.
we have to cut this. part out.
Yeah, we'll cut this out. So real quick. So it's Pick, Talk Radio, Donnie Brasco,
Sure.
Blonde, or
Pick.
Blonde, Donnie Brasco. Pick is September 6th.
Oh, okay.
So this is going to come out September 13th.
Okay, no, then I have 2 gigs in August that I'm doing. So
I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. And my podcast will be done by then. But you could go back
Oh,
and listen.
geez.
We'll have you could always go back and listen to
Keeping the
it's
feed up.
evergreen. Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, super live adventure. What can I plug? Check out Real Ghostbusters, REEL Ghostbusters, if you're into that sort of thing. Like
On
I said,
Instagram.
on Instagram. I also have a website. You can just go to pizzaplasm.com. You see most of my artwork, and you can follow the Real Ghostbusters project and check out Baby
Impractical
Belushi.
Jokers.
Yeah, watching Practical
Oh, yeah.
Jokers. I think
Baby Belushi.
yeah, check out Baby Belushi on Instagram. It's me. I have my original comedy on there too, but then it's also like me at different cons and different events, dressed like different John characters, just having a good time.
Awesome. We also didn't mention our sexy intern and you are friends, Dennis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dennis is the man.
Friend of the show.
Sexiest of all interns.
Oh yeah.
This was very fun. Thank you for joining
Yes.
us.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for
much.
Yeah,
having me,
awesome.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been a blast.
Welcome back anytime, bud.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, when the
Great.
book comes out, let us know. We'll plug it for you.
Oh
and all
yeah,
that.
definitely.
absolutely. Yeah,
So,
totally. Oh,
all right.
thank you.
Ready
Appreciate it.
for a 15-minute outro?
It's not that long. All right, ready? Please like and subscribe. Click the bell to get notified. Keep up with everything we do. Reviewinghistorypod.com. You could go there, buy some merch. It helps us out, supports us. What else? Oh, follow us on all social media. Review History Pod on Twitter, Reviewing History Pod everywhere else, reviewinghistorypod.com. You can email the show, reviewinghistorypod@gmail.com. Big thank you to Tell 'em Steve, Dave, Brywalt, Q, Get 'em, letting us record down in their studio. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. Follow me personally on all social media, Brian Rupert. That's with 2 P's. Follow me on Letterboxd. I rank and review every single movie I watch, even the ones in my personal life. Thank you guys so much. We will see you next time. Bye.
I am the P-Man! I am the P-Man!